Well, I guess I'm here talking to myself. I just thought I would come on a little bit, mainly to let my supper settle. I just finished eating, and I don't want to go to bed with a stomach all full because I won't sleep if I do that. I'm tired. Got up really early this morning, stupid early, and yeah, got a few things figured out. I laid down on the couch, and man, I used to love that couch. And my hands started falling asleep, and of course I had the TV on, and that kept bothering me, so that wasn't restful at all. So I'm I guess going to hang out here a few minutes, and it looks like I'm talking to myself, and we'll just see how it goes. If anybody wants to come up, I think the links are there, and everything's all ready. See what's on your mind. I was tickled to death about what Florida did to Disney yesterday. That just gratifies me to no end. Yesterday, meaning Friday. It's time for these perverts and communists and all these people to start getting slapped down, and they need to get slapped down hard, in my opinion. And that's just the kind of a mood I'm in, maybe because I'm not well rested, but I don't have a whole lot of patience with morons and idiots and perverts, and especially communists. Am I on? Can somebody see? There's 9 watching. Nobody's commenting. I guess I'm on. To hell with it. I don't know. People are concerned about division and all that. And my buddy Ghetto.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, Ghetto. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, I was waiting for you to send me the link on the phone, but I forgot I haven't taught you how to do that yet. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me go check my email, and I looked down and you already started and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute.
It will be email, brother. Silver Girl, Unscrupulous, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Yeah, man, I had fun doing that. It would have been better. It would have been a lot longer, but I paused the video because, hey, Tina, how you doing? You know, just in order to keep it from getting boring, and then I
Right.
could figure out how to unpause it, so it was over.
You just hit the red button again. So you just hit the record button again.
Oh, you hit the record button again.
Yeah.
See, there was another button off to the side of it that I kept trying to hit, and it wasn't doing anything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
love to.
It was good.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it was really good video.
Was it okay? I thought the quality was good.
The quality was awesome. So only one I only got one critique, which you probably didn't think of when you were doing it, but when you hold when you hold your phone sideways, it would have gave you the full view. You'd have been able to record both of those fires at the same time. But when you so instead of it being in portrait mode, it would have came out. Yeah, it would have been in landscape, which would have really made it pop, because when you
Well,
record just holding your phone up in portrait,
uh-huh.
only people on phones are going to enjoy it maybe as much as when you're recording it. But a lot of people like myself watch YouTube and stuff on their TVs or on tablets, and so it just looks a lot better in that horizontal. But other than that, it was the quality, all that was good.
Hey, it was fun. Good morning, do stuff with Nikki. I haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you. Um, yeah, I thought it was good. I got out there and I had no signal
Oh, okay.
now, and I don't know. My truck is supposed to be a hotspot. If I had let the truck run, I don't know whether it might have pulled a signal from the house and powered the phone. I got no idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I ain't got no internet or nothing on my phone
Yeah.
or on my car. Try to
So
keep that. Was you making a sandwich and that? Oh, she didn't want that again?
She wanted a little bit.
Okay.
It's ready for.
I'm ready. I'm ready to grub. Sorry, I'm not on camera right now, Mr. Tom. I ain't
hey,
looking
chow
pretty
down.
yet. Getting ready to eat me some food.
That's why I didn't get on. Yeah, man, I had a big old shake and bake pork chop. I had 4 cheese, macaroni and cheese,
Oh,
and spinach, and then one of those little artificial apple pies. Delmas, good to see you. No, Delmas, it's not going to be a long night. I'm tired. Well, it depends on just what happens. Maybe I don't plan on it being
yeah.
a long night.
Hello, Miss Annalisa. Yeah, he always says that, and then it's 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when he's going to bed. Just saying.
Yeah, that would make for a 24-hour day, and I'm getting too old for that shit.
Get out of here with that, Miss Ghetto. Miss Ghetto was looking at your yard and your land and stuff, and she's like, "Well, ask Mr. Tom if he's looking to adopt 2 adults, 2 kids, 2 cats, and 2 dogs."
I'll have to be honest with you, man. That was one thing I missed today because the last time I had fires back there, I had a good dog who would have
Oh
been
yeah.
running back and forth checking both those fires out. Delmas, I don't understand what you're saying there. If I have a good fowler,
Follower, I think. You
oh,
have a good,
follower.
yeah, good followers,
Okay. All right.
good panel. Stop begging, Miss Ghetto. Dang. She's over there begging
Begging for what?
for your yard, man. She's wanting to pitch a tent in your yard right next to the river, and she's like, and we won't be a bother. like we're over here homeless or something, man. My rent
You,
is paid up for another year, lady. Maybe in a year we'll talk to
you
them.
get
right now
yourself a
we're good.
camper and come on out. I got room for campers, don't I?
Yeah, you
And
do.
see what you saw. That's not all of it. I well, if you think back to when I was looking up that smaller creek,
Yeah.
all those woods over there to the left of mine too.
Oh wow. Now, is it illegal in West Virginia for somebody to put a camper on your property or in your parking spot or anything like that and actually stay in there?
Who's going to stop me?
Well, I don't know. It's illegal in this state and all the states actually on the West Coast and a couple right next to us. But yeah, it's different. It's different in a lot of states. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Uh,
E-
to my knowledge, my land is my land, man. There's
Well,
plenty.
that's how that's how I see it too.
uh, One of the most uncomfortable situations I ever got into when I was working.
Hmm.
This kid lived in a camper on his dad's property, and the
Oh,
camper
okay.
was off from the house. But the dad was about half nuts, and him and the boy didn't get along. When I say kid, this guy was in his 20s.
Yeah.
But him and the old man were feuding, and I pulled up to the camper because that's what I was told to do, and it was a little soft in there. And my wheels started spinning, and I immediately stopped and walked on up, And I'd been there, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes trying to diagnose it. I think it was his heater or something. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But the old man came over from the house just raising hell. And him and the boy started screaming at each other. And I'm just kind of standing there taking all this in. And this dude wheeled on me and stuck his finger in my face and said, "You aren't supposed to be here at all." Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'm on my way out right now.
Yeah.
To hell with that. I left. I didn't.
What were you there to do? Some ace? Was it for the house or
No,
for the?
fixing the heater in the camper, as I remember.
So it was in the camper. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
it
was
was in the
thinking.
little camper. And it wasn't even a big camper, man. It was just one of these little short things that you tow behind a truck.
Oh, okay. Like a
You know,
fifth wheel?
huh?
Like a fifth wheel?
Not even that, man. It had a trailer hitch. I mean, two people couldn't live. Two people could sleep in it, but it had no bathroom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a camper, and that was it. And of course, this boy was living in it.
Yeah.
He was a bum, and
I wonder if I can set you up out here. Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
no, that's all right.
I'm sitting outside. Man, it's a beautiful night, but it is cold out here. I was
Oh,
thinking
it's
about
nice.
starting a fire.
Oh, it's still 52 degrees here.
Let me see if I can.
Warriors, good to see you. Chuck.
Hey, what's up, Chuck?
All right. All right.
Yeah, there's absolutely nobody on. And I definitely didn't want to be in charge of no stream. See, can y'all even well, that's a little bit of something. There you go. Or does that bother you? Am I good?
No, that
I'm
doesn't
just
bother me.
I'm just
Oh,
out
that's
here like the
your badminton net.
shadow man. Yeah. We were
Nice.
actually gonna play some badminton here in a little bit. Man, it's I love playing it in the dark. Well, we all do anyway.
Yeah.
It goes for a lot of fun. I'm not sure though, man. My wife, I won. She thought she was all, kicking my butt. She was like 10-3. And then I'm like, looky here, lady, you keep running it. She was rubbing it in. And I'm like, look, I'm over here letting you win a little bit. And then bam, bam. I hit like 10 points in a row on
You ought to be ashamed
what?
of yourself, a big guy like you, spiking the birdie down on that little
I was,
girl.
I was trying while I was playing fetch with the dog. I'm sitting there playing while I'm playing fetch with the dog too. Because man, I tell you what, if you're playing fetch with my dog, right, and he brings it back and you're not paying attention, he shoves it right into your freaking crotch.
Oh, is that
Like
right?
he gets your attention.
Let's get with this, man.
He does too. And if you ain't right in front of it, all of a sudden your rear end's feeling something. He nudges you. That's because he's level, so it's like he nudges you.
Right on. So, Warriors, are you finally moving to Texas? Is that what I understand? What little bit I know about your situation. Not enough to really talk about it. But
He was when he was up here talking, I thought he lived in Texas, moved from California or something like that. I'm not sure.
I had the idea he was staying somewhere else right now. I'm really
Oh,
not sure.
yeah.
He'll
Who
straighten
knows?
this out.
Trying to
That's right.
find you.
Hawk's doing the pray-a-thon. I always forget about that.
Oh yeah, huh? I don't know what number is it on, Silver Girl. If
15, I
you
believe.
oh, okay, then I'm subbed over there, so I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't get a notification, I guess. I'm not sure.
Well, I guess it would have started at noon.
Oh, okay.
So that was a long time ago. Wildflowers and Weeds. I kind of like that name.
Hello, Michigan girl.
Yeah, Michigan. It's a good weekend. Beautiful weekend. I should have thought to pointed that camera up at the sky because there was
Mm.
nothing but blue. There was no
That's,
airplane trails. There was nothing.
see, that's how we've been, Tom, until tonight. And then the chemtrails started going. Now we're kind of overcasty. There's a few spots, but man, once those chemtrails start going, all of a sudden we got no, it's all overcast. It's kind of beyond the tinfoil hat when it happens every single time. You know what I mean? It goes
Yeah.
beyond coincidence.
Billy, you're up late. Good to see you, man.
It was nice out. It wasn't, okay, he's live on the 10.
Oh,
Yeah, I
is it?
got him. Yeah, my stuff gets so jumbled up, man. Once like with Hawks, I'll join his new ones, and if he does a few on them like that, I'll just go ahead and get rid of the other ones because it's like, well, they're already taken down. But I try to keep it to where my YouTubes ain't all jumbled up.
I don't clean out that subscription list ever.
Well, do you have your notifications on for all of it then, or
Yeah,
just certain? Oh man, that'll drive me. Well, you're on your computer, so I guess it doesn't just pop up and bother you. Mine's on my phone.
it's down here in the corner. I just reach over and click close. Afraid I'll miss
Hmm.
something. Indy, pleasure to see you.
Oh, what's up, Minnie Mouse? Damn, I'm not even looking at chat.
I had a
Man, I need
weird
a.
Facebook experience.
Uh
I
oh.
posted this little thing. Now, listen, this is all it was. It was strictly text.
Mm,
And the thing was, let's say, an inch and a half high, 2 or 3 inches wide.
yeah.
Not a big thing, big letters. It said, "This is not a scam. Inbox me and I will turn your $500 into my $500." That's all it said. They gave me a 2-day ban because it violated their standards. Well, usually when they do this, I say, screw you. Okay. I don't need you anyway. I need to break. So a little while later, a buddy of mine, I got a notification that he had liked the post. And I sent him a private message. He must have sent me a private message that he liked it because I wrote back to him and I said, don't share that because I just got put in jail for 2 days over it.
Mm.
Well, here it came up on the main screen. And I thought, that's weird. So it wasn't a private message, it was the notification that he had liked it. And a few other things came up, and I hit the like button, and usually they won't even let you do that.
Right.
Well, here I tried. I do my Biden. You don't follow me on Facebook, but I do a Biden diary.
You love him that much? I
I
take it.
do, man. I do.
All right. All right.
Uh,
I'm
every
following.
on inauguration day, I started this, and the very first one said day one of illegal government, and then in all capital letters down under that it says "fuck Joe Biden," and I have done that without fail every single day. So I am up to day 457. And I thought, well, since they're letting me like some posts, let's just see what happens. I tried it and it went through. So I had checked the box that said I didn't disagree with, or I didn't agree with their decision. And I guess they changed their minds.
Hmm.
Maybe somebody with a
Well,
brain looked at it and said, "Well, what's wrong with that? It's obviously a joke." All it said was, "I'll change your $500 into my $500."
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, was it a joke or? I mean, I knew
Of
it
course,
sounded
it
like it
was a
was a
joke.
joke. Yeah,
Unless
it
you want
sound
to give me
obviously.
$500, I mean, I'll still do it. Finding Keno, hello.
What's up, Kino? Congratulations, man. He's been in the he might still be in the Philippines. Not sure if you're
Oh,
subbed over there, man. He went over and seen his wife, and he's got some cool videos coming out of the Philippines.
who
I
Finding
don't use,
Keno?
yeah, I don't usually comment just because I'm watching it on my TV, but yeah, I've been watching his videos. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Wildflower Ghetto's actually on the West Coast. We don't hold that against him.
Hey,
He can't
hey,
help
hey, hey.
it.
Yeah, actually, Meanie, Silver Girl, Independent Mini. I mean, I'm not trying to put their business out. They make it public as well. There's quite a few West Coasters over here, and do stuff with Nikki. She's gonna move to San Francisco, California.
No, she isn't.
Yeah.
Why is she doing that?
I'm just trying to bait her to come up here and kick my ass. That's all, Tom. Don't worry. Speaking of San Francisco, though, Virginia Roots, that's where she lives.
Oh, I didn't realize she lived in San Francisco. I
She
thought
doesn't.
she
You're just as gullible as these
look,
guys.
man. I've been up since 8 o'clock this
I
morning.
love you,
Don't
brother. My
start.
apologies. My apologies.
You can just about tell me anything tonight, and I'll believe it.
Well, if you send me that $500, I'll turn it into my $500.
Okay.
Ooh, well, if I ain't gonna build a fire, I'm taking my happy butt in the house. So I'm still here talking to you. Plus, my wifey's got a nice big plate of grub for me.
Did
You
you see
know,
how high those flames were going? Those fires were brutal hot, man. You couldn't get close to them for a while.
oh yeah, I bet.
They're
Sorry if I'm
actually
loud,
still
Tom.
burning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, last time I looked out the bathroom window, they were.
Thank you. All right, give me a second, Tom, please. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Be
man.
right
Take
back,
your
man.
time. Take your time.
I just don't want to make a bunch of noise, but I'm situating myself. I'll be right back, though.
Okay. Yeah, noise isn't necessary, especially here at midnight, 11:30 out there. Billy, I guess you got all your butchering done and your meat put away and everything worked out good with that, I hope. And Silver Girls, your emails finally did come through. Maybe that one that you got back didn't, but I woke up this morning and had like 30 emails waiting. I don't know what their problem was with that server, but I guess they worked on it all night last night. Garrett, good to see you, sir. Hey, thank you, Redneck. I wanted to do that live, and I was too far away from the house to have a signal, so I did. I'd never done one of that before, so it didn't work out as good as I wanted it to, but it wasn't going to anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with some folks. Yeah, Billy, I don't blame you. You don't want to do that in hot weather. You'll just end up losing it all. And I don't know how you felt about the smell. I helped butcher a few beeves, well, this years ago, but I couldn't eat beef for a couple of weeks after that. Just that odor kind of turned me off to beef. It doesn't take long to get turned back onto it, but you had to get away from it for a while. AC, good to see you here. I am kind of throwing around the idea of buying another quarter beef sometime this summer. Because I tell you what, folks, harvest time, I don't know what we're going to see. Um, they say there's a terrible fertilizer shortage, and our food shortage is not really going to manifest until harvest time.
Well, there's a feed shortage too, Tom.
Yeah.
Animal feed shortage over there in Ireland. They're going to have to cull over 1 million sheep and goats because under the green, that stupid fucking, excuse my language, but that the green emissions stuff, the climate BS.
Mm-hmm.
All these other countries are, all these other countries. Let me know if there's any back feed music or any
No,
back
man.
noise, please. My daughter's bumping her music. It's Saturday, and
I don't hear a thing.
all right, good. But no, let me pull up the article. It's so in Ireland. Let me see. So I follow the Ice Age farmer, and so it's in. Okay, yeah, Northern Ireland faces loss of 1 million sheep and cattle to meet climate targets. This is what other countries are having to do because they already passed all the laws. They were already, you know what I mean? They've already been groomed for all the stuff that we're getting ready to go through and or going through. They've already been doing it. 1 million of them. And I mean think about that. On top of all the chickens that have been killed lately because of this bird flu, crap.
Uh-huh.
What was that 28, 29 million chickens?
I hadn't really
Ducks.
heard about that.
Oh yeah, Tom, it's bad. In China over there, they just got 2 more people that contracted the H5 something or other bird flu from the birds. So
From the
it's
birds.
going, yeah, so it's going to the humans, and I think that was like the 19th person reported since this, bird stuff's been going on. Over 100,000 ducks for one company, on top of the 30 different food production warehouses that's been set on fire just this last year.
And they have been set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
Billy,
then
that's nasty. I remember that. Man, I see around here it's a little bit different. My cousin, as an example, he owns a bunch of mountain land too, and he raises black Angus beef. And he's probably already done it, but in the summertime, they'll haul those cattle up to the mountains and let them graze up there. And all these flat fields down here are going to be hay. So the cattle will fend for themselves all summer. And then after the hay's made, they'll come back down here and they can still graze those hay fields. But then when winter comes, they'll eat hay and some grain. I don't know. I think a lot of these farmers, if they just said, you go to hell, I'm not doing that. But that's just me. And again, I'm tired and cranky.
well, all the red flags were up. I mean, you know,
I'm glad to hear that, Silver Girl. See, my neighbor raised chickens, but he passed away, so I don't have anybody in the industry to get the truth from. John had 3 chicken houses up here, just a couple miles away. He could turn out 125,000 birds every 7 weeks. That's a lot of chicken.
right. But no, Silver Girl. That's why I said Ice Age Farmer. I don't follow the mainstream media at all, actually. I mean, I think we all do it at some point because even independent people that are doing whatever, they're still getting some kind of stuff from MSM. But no, not when it comes to your everyday, mainstream stuff. No, I don't. But um, Ice Age Farmer, he's been calling, man. I don't know if you have ever followed him, Tom, but he's been
No,
calling this stuff since the beginning of the Rona, like when um, back in the beginning of 2020 when he was when the co-op started paying all these farmers to stop growing food, to stop growing, cattle and all this other stuff, and started. Um, I mean, basically, they had to start destroying all the food. I mean, it wasn't just because everybody was locked down. It was they were intentionally being told, hey, because they're trying to come in. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. That's why Billy Goat is over there with all that farmland and all this other stuff. It's I don't know, man. It's just a little bit too much because you know how I think. I think 10, 20 years down the road, as my kids are adults, what the hell are they going to be eating? They're Tom, they're pumping this stuff about cockroach milk.
I've heard that. That's the
Oh,
dumbest thing.
good Lord. Yes. And it's the most nutritional thing for you. What the hell are you gonna do? You gonna wake up and get a bowl of cockroach milk for your cereal? What the heck? What?
I don't think so.
I no, I don't think so neither.
Yeah, Free Rebel. I remember that. I've been around a little longer than the '80s, even actually. But yeah, what was the term this girl used to use? Agribiz. I think that was the trigger word.
Yeah,
Big companies buying up all the farmland, and not a whole lot wrong with that if the farmland is being used still. But they can't buy this land up and then stop producing. They need to be slapped down, man.
yeah, that's where we come into play, man.
All
That's
these
how I was.
people need to be slapped down hard.
Well,
I just love what Florida did to Disney. I wish I could laugh in somebody's face.
all right, Tom. Can you educate me on that story, please? Because I don't watch that main stream stuff.
Oh man, this is such a great story. This goes all the way back to the late 1960s.
Okay.
And I guess Florida did this to induce Disney to come. Now I've never been down there, but they've got a place down there, man. It's their own world,
Okay.
uh,
Okay. Disney World, right?
Disney World.
Yeah.
They actually made these people their own political entity. They have their own
Oh.
police forces. They apparently passed their own laws. They were, I don't know whether they were completely tax exempt, but they didn't pay taxes. If they wanted to
Oh
build
wow.
something, they didn't have to go to a planning commission. They just did it. An autonomous entity. Okay, so now 6 or 8 weeks ago, Florida legislature passes a bill that school teachers cannot discuss sexuality to students kindergarten through third grade. which is the most reasonable thing. It shouldn't be. This
Yeah.
parents shouldn't be discussing sexuality with kids that young.
Right.
What the hell happened, and what is wrong with allowing children to have a period of innocence? Where, we need to protect kids. Now, they get to be 12, 13 years old, and then the real world starts hitting.
Right.
But
Yeah.
up until that time, for God's sake, let kids be kids. Let them have something to look back on and remember, a time where it was joyful and wonderful. Well, anyway, your Disney employees objected to this law, and
Right.
they termed it, and it wasn't. This is not what the law is called, but the Disney Corporation and the people out in California
Hmm.
started calling it the "Don't Say Gay" law. It
Yeah.
That's not what it was called. So they Disney employees started lobbying and doing whatever they do with the idea that we're going to force the legislature to overturn their own law. And the Florida state legislature, and I was doubtful when I started hearing this. Florida State Senate said, you know what? You all been your own self-governing entity since the late 60s. It's about time that ended. So we're going to take all that away from you. And oh, by the way, we're going to need you to start paying $200 million a year in property taxes. And I thought, okay, the Senate can do this. This is a feel good moment for everybody.
Right.
But the next day, the Florida's equivalent of the House of Representatives passed the same bill. And
Nice.
Friday, the governor signed the damn thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Wonder if they're gonna leave now, though. I mean, good.
hey,
Good. They
man,
need to leave. I don't care. They're a
this
bunch of
ain't some
pedophiles.
little store where you can close down and pack up the candy you were selling and go.
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
not taking Epcot Center anywhere. They're not taking Disney World anywhere.
Right.
They can close the whole thing down, I guess.
Right.
But
Thank you, Kino.
so yeah, that was a slapdown, and more states need to start doing the same thing with other companies.
With all companies, like I don't.
Most companies do pay taxes and abide by the
Well,
local laws and state laws and stuff, but Disney was their own deal, man.
yeah, no, I understand that, but I mean, they get so many tax breaks and they're able to control so much of legislation and stuff like that. It's really good
It's
that
got to stop.
and just like up here in Oregon, Nestle, for instance, they own, well, I may as well say it, they own a lot of our creeks and rivers up here on our mountains, Mount Hood, St. Helens, up in these, mountains. And that's why people can't collect their rainwater. That's why people can't do certain things because, it's going to tap into their resources and stuff like that. And it's because of them that people have went to jail just for collecting rainwater. So it's stuff like that it's just, when do we say it's enough? And I know we've had hundreds of these conversations. I just had a few conversations today on carbon cues, and it's like I forgot what we were talking about. We were talking about the issues within all communities, and we got to look out for our own communities, as in basically our local stuff. You know what I mean? Our own, and then it's like, but somebody had brought up that they went to the dollar store and it's all $1.25 now, but they kind of glossed over that part and saying, well, we can't come together because as long as our communities are fine, we're okay. in the same breath, they were talking about the dollar store being $1.25, and it's like, well, how are we individually going to continue to build our communities up if we're all having to pay that extra 25 cents? We're all having to pay $100 for a 2x4. You know what I mean? That's because they
I would.
exactly. It's because they were saying that, well, the balloon hasn't went up yet. Nothing so major is happening. I'm like, inflation itself should be a problem for everybody instead of everybody just glossing over and accepting that we're paying all this extra money. We stop buying this shit. I mean, do we do something about the fact that I mean, you understand what I mean? Like, I don't know what the hell we would do. I'm just saying that we have to be able to protest in some certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to do something instead of just accepting it because, hey, you're not going to go without that Starbucks, even though it's an extra $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And some people won't have a choice. But
Right.
and what's going to happen, man, as these prices keep going up, more and more people are just going to they're going to have to make this decision. I can't afford that. I can't afford to buy that. I can't
Right.
afford to go to this restaurant. Um, you know, you'll prioritize and you'll do what's necessary. Okay, so you're going to quit going to the restaurant once a week. Well, sooner or later, that restaurant's going to have to lay a couple people off, if not close altogether.
Right.
What does that do? That puts more people out there that can't afford to buy stuff, which is going to close more businesses down. At this point, my friend, you have talked about unity and togetherness, and I'm getting to the point where if by now you're still agreeing with what's going on, I don't want to be unified with you anymore. You
Right.
are the enemy. And
100%, Tom.
it's time to make these divisions even wider than they are now.
Agreed. And Gma, how did you know I was talking exactly about you? You get those caramel marnicados or whatever they're called. I don't even know the right name for one of them.
I have never been
But
in a Starbucks. I don't even know what the
well,
shit tastes like.
I've been in a Starbucks and I used to get some kind of caramel. It's been like a decade. I don't know, 10, 15 years, but I used to get my wife one of those cold caramel something or other years ago when we lived at our old duplex. Actually, before we had kids, so she's over 16 years ago. But I mean, it was $6 for a big old cup of sugar. I mean, it wasn't. We were never just regular coffee drinkers, so those were just I actually had a habit there at a coffee place. It wasn't Starbucks. It was called Brewed Awakenings or something like that. But man, I ended up getting two of those espressos every day before work, man. 4:30 in the morning, I was in line every single day until I started adding up the
Oh,
bill, every month, and I'm like, dang, I'm spending $10 a day, and that was just me. My wife was getting one, but I'm getting 10. I'm getting two. Shit, I'm starting work at 5 in the morning. I need one for lunch and one for the morning. And hello, Miss
and
DM.
that's a pleasant habit.
It was at the time, and we didn't have kids. Our bills were paid, so it's not like it was horrible. But it got to the point where it's like, now I'm getting a headache not having this stuff. I didn't like that part.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part at all. That meant I was addicted to it. And at that point and this point in my life, anything that I felt I was addicted to, I got my ass away from. Now, unfortunately, cigarettes are the last man standing, and it's like I think I'm holding on to those for dear life. Um, but yeah,
You know, you deserve something, but I can relate to the caffeine thing, man. Once you get into caffeine and then you try to cut it off, headaches are not good.
Oh yeah, and
AC, how
sugar.
you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing, Mr. Tom? Hey,
Oh,
Mr. Ghetto.
hanging in. Anybody know
What's up,
Anthony?
AC? I do not know an Anthony.
Anthony, good morning.
You're muted, Anthony. Did he mean to come over?
I don't know.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's
That
Oh, there
is
we go.
better.
how you
All
doing?
right.
Good to have you.
But Tom, do everybody a favor. Instead of getting a quarter of a beef, get half of a beef, because it's in the long run you might need it with all the crap that's happening right now.
Well, AC, that's a good advice. Number one, I can't afford a half a beef. Number two, I got no place to store half a beef.
Ah,
Well, what we did last summer, we went together with another couple and split a half a beef. So neither one of us got stuck with a hind quarter or front quarter. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They split it up, and we basically split half the beef, which was a great way to do it, really.
What's up, Anthony? You just scrolling around and find us, or what?
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, no disrespect, man, but are you over 18 or under 18?
Yeah, I'm 30.
You're 30?
Yeah.
No, well,
you
I was
maybe
born
I'll
in
get my eyes.
'99.
Maybe
you don't look.
my apologies, man. Ain't no disrespect.
Ghetto, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is he over the age of 18?
Right. Well, I mean, I talk different if I know there's, if there's younger dudes or younger chicks in the audience or wherever. So I just want to make sure.
Wildflowers has it right. Anthony looks like he's 12. Sorry, but that you
Well,
got
I
a
wouldn't
baby
say
face.
it like that. Well, everybody can't be as ugly as you, AC.
Ghetto,
Some of us got to look pretty.
you don't
I
have
got.
much fucking room to talk there, sir.
Oh no, I'm a handsome man. Tom tells me I'm handsome every day. He sends me a text message. Ghetto, you sure are handsome today. That's how he wakes up. He
First
makes me
thing when
feel
I
great.
get up every
Yeah, see.
And Ghetto,
sure.
how are your Democratic handlers enjoying all the information you're bringing back to them?
Gmo. I don't know what you're talking about, man. We a red state
91.
over here. Regardless if anybody wants to see it or not.
Yes, welcome, Anthony. I hope you're enjoying your time on the channel and everything.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
there
seen
ain't
you
much
around,
on
Anthony.
since
Why
Hawk's
don't
doing
you?
his pray-a-thon thing.
Yeah, he is. Well, tell us a little bit about you and what you're into.
He's
That was
talking to
it.
you, Anthony.
What was that?
I was just welcoming you aboard. I hadn't seen you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
just
Thanks.
feel free to tell us about yourself and what are you into. Where are we going
Oh,
wrong here?
I don't know. I think
You frequent Hawk's channel?
yeah.
Do you? Hawk's a good guy. Very close to all of us, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing what he does is pray-a-thon deal, but then if you already seen those videos that he's shown, then there's nothing else really on.
That's
So
true.
it's nice to see somebody else on.
Well, yeah, I'm basically came on to BS with some friends to let my dinner settle a little bit so I don't go to bed on a full stomach.
Yeah.
Um, and I like to bitch, so that's what I'm into.
Yeah.
But Tom, you're older than all of us, so you're allowed to bitch. You've seen more shit than all of us.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired of this And what frustrates me is I don't know what to do about it other than just try to convince everybody to stand up to it. Yeah,
I'm not, Tom. I'm gonna say this, but conservatives, even though I'm not, I didn't really turn conservative until after Trump, after T was president. Conservatives have let this happen a lot longer than most of us have been alive. So we're in this boat because our parents and grandparents that taught us right from wrong didn't stick up for themselves. Now we're trying to catch up 50 or 60 years, and it's kind of hard to do.
it's very hard to do. We got to get just as mean as the other side. This we've been polite long enough. And Mister Guardian Prepper, good to see you. Awkward Texan, awesome to see you too.
Guardians here. It's about time we have somebody smart around here. He knows what's up.
Guardian Prepper is a smart man.
Free rebel.
Good night, redneck.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure. All right.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. I was the one that, made the comment about farmers back in the 80s earlier on
Yeah,
chat. Yeah, I was living in the middle of that. I lived in a little farm town in Iowa. And, if we weren't off goofing around as kids, we was catching money with the farmers. So we can buy our soda pop and candy and stuff like that. But, when the big corporations start moving in, driving prices up, forcing farmers to, they either sell out or get bought out, man, it was ugly. And you look at what we're going through today, we're going through, the 80s 2.0. It's worse. It's
it is worse.
going to be worse. And, if people agree with me or not, I really don't care. You have your opinion, I have mine. With the younger generation, you need to go back and do your history, because what I experienced in the 80s, if you look at it, this is a trend that repeats itself every 20 to 30 years. If you just go back in history 20, 30 years and just take the pulse of what was going on in the nation, it's the same shit, just different day and a little bit worse.
But
It's more in our face, I think.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why it's in our face is because my phone's in my hands. We
Right.
didn't have that back
yeah,
But was it as widespread back then too? Was it in every
Yeah.
country like it is right
then.
now?
Well, I don't know
As in
about every
people were
country.
revolting?
There was that going on, but not as widespread or well known, just mainly because it was, sorry, my dog's scratching her ear and is making my phone shake a little bit. Is the fact that, the level of, the social media back then was limited to, ABC, NBC, and CBS and what they
Right.
decided to air. Back then, did they do a better job of presenting the truth? Yeah.
They did.
But,
We think.
it just gets
We hope
controlled.
so.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, I remember when you could actually watch Dan Rather and get truth,
Right.
back when
Paul
60
Harvey.
Minutes, back when 60 Minutes was actually legit.
Yeah.
Back when Saturday Night Live was still funny,
And there was a time that they
was,
were funny.
yes, that was when I was growing up in the late 80s and early 90s. I will say that right now. After the mid 90s, it's went to, as
Yeah.
Mr. T would say, everything woke goes to shit.
Yep.
That's what's
Just-
happened.
Just so you know, I'm 50 years old. I was born in 71, so I'll be 51 here in a couple months.
I was
I
born
was
in
free rebel,
Rebel, you
81.
look like you're 60 or 70.
I was
Oh,
gonna
gee,
ask
thanks.
him if he's
Hey, I
under
just
18
shaved-
like I did you.
I just shaved my beard. It was like way down to here.
All right.
I trimmed it. I didn't shave it. I trimmed it. But yeah, it's like, what I like about people using this social media in this fashion is that not only can you talk to people all across the country, but across the world.
Uh-huh.
And, instead of having a pulse on your local area, you can actually get a pulse on the whole world, and you realize that a lot of people have said, I believe, Mr. T, don't want no trigger words, said himself, basically the United States is the last bastion for freedom and hope.
That's true.
Ronald Reagan said that.
Yeah,
back in the
yeah.
80s.
I wonder how many dictators say that, though. Just saying.
Because I can't think of another country that I'd be willing and wanting to live in right now.
Right.
Don't you think the Chinese people think that, though?
Oh,
I mean,
No,
I don't think
no.
so.
No. Those people hate their lives.
I've never been there. I've never lived there. What's up, Guardian Preppin? Speaking about talking to other countries, there's my man right here.
Where's
How you
he
doing,
from?
Guardian Preppin? Well, I'll let him tell you. He's
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Ghetto. It's good to be up on the panel with everybody. And I do
to have
agree
you.
with what Free's saying. The States is definitely one of the last bastions when it does come to freedom and hope for the free world. That's why a lot of the people on the outside, we closely observe what's happening in the US, because if something dire happens to the States, the rest of our countries that have our freedoms are also potentially in jeopardy. So it's a very serious matter. And I'm just really happy to have people that are fighting for freedom as well, because as long as that happens, then America will never fall. And look, I know a lot of people have questions about the current state of the United States as well, but I can tell you with absolute certainty that things will get better. The States will absolutely, things will just the States is strong enough to be resilient against any sort of nonsense that the media is trying to spew at the moment. That's all I'm saying.
All right, can I throw a monkey wrench in the works on that?
Please do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this is what I believe. Let me preface that. This is my opinion. This is what my beliefs are. Okay. I'm not going to force my opinion on nobody. I don't want nobody trying to put words in my mouth later on, because that's happened in the past. So I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. America getting better, I doubt it. Not this time. And the reason why I say that, cut and simple, read your Bible. There are too many spiritual, biblical, prophesied dots that have connected to point that some of us listening right now will probably see Jesus step out of those clouds. And that's my opinion. America getting better, maybe for 3.5 years during the tribulation, and it just goes to shit from there. You want you want to go down a rabbit hole? You want to go down a rabbit hole off of that?
Can I just say one thing to you, Rebel, real quick? Because
Sure.
I love having discourse. I think it's always good for
I
people
do
to have.
too.
Yeah.
I do too.
I think that, personally, I believe that it will, if you stayed, like, I'm not saying that you don't have experience in another country such as mine, but if you stayed in a country such as mine, which is a third world country, for a long period of time, and then you went back to the States, you'd be like, oh man, this place actually has everything together. Like, even though it seems like things are completely upside down, I think that once you've been here for like a while, that I've grown up in South Africa, which is a country that has got a lot of external issues, and you okay, go ahead, Rebel, 100%.
Oh, no. I thought you was from England with the accent. I'm glad you said South America. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Free Rebel, I was thinking the same thing because of his accent. I thought he was from England.
Yeah, but that I figured he might have been an immigrant into
Rebel,
England from an early age. But
South Africa, sir.
Yeah, I got you. I find it fascinating. You being in South Africa, because the history. If people understand the true history of South Africa, good or bad, it's a phenomenal story.
Mm-hmm.
It's
it's
compared to if you know the history of South Africa as well as the history of America, the birth of America, the history of South Africa is phenomenal, brutal at times, but wow, to be where they're at now through what they've been through, Wow.
Rebel,
My hat's off to you, bud.
yeah, the thing is, locally, it's a story of hope and a story that people, no matter where you're from, can get along. A story that says that, yes, we do have a dark past, but if you look at the current state of the country, and if you ask a lot of people on the ground, don't ask politicians or the media, but ask people on the ground, and they'll tell you in every single way that, hell yes, like South Africa's come from an extremely dark and oppressive state, which is absolutely disgusting and deplorable. And we've come from that, and we're trying to become a country that can stand on our own as well. We're trying to improve, and yes, it's taking time, and yes, there's corruption and all of that type of thing. But my point primarily on the states and what I was saying, just before I'll take a breath now.
Go ahead.
When it comes to things, I'm extremely, extremely supportive and passionate about the United States, and like idolize Captain America. And you can laugh at me about idolizing Captain America at the age of 36, and I don't care if people do that, but I believe in hope, and I believe in fighting for freedom, and I believe in protecting the weak, and I believe in making sure that each and every day that we do good deeds to others. And yeah, that's why I bring up the Captain America thing. But the US isn't just a country to me, it's so much more than that.
Yeah. I understand that. I'm a veteran from the United States Marine Corps. I never served in combat. I never went overseas with them. So I'm not going to, fake any valor out of that. I did serve during time of war, the Gulf Desert Storm, but I never went in country. I never left the States for that, and because I got my, he's called Fire Watch ribbon. I can't remember what it is now. I'm considered a veteran of a foreign war. I don't take any glory in that, but, knowing anything about the history of the military, especially the Marine Corps, they're very history oriented with, where the Marines started and how they got to where they're at. Knowing the plights of other countries, not just now, but, decades ago, and seeing, how some countries like South Africa, granted, there's things I don't like about South Africa, but in general, wow. But, in relations of like, me, I've left the country a few times, in my civilian life. I always wanted to come back. And I'm like, wow, it's fun, vacation, but I want to go back to the States because, I was all, I raised with the eye of, it's like, oh yeah, have fun, but just look at the people where you go.
Yeah.
The guy, the person that's making your preferred beverage, look in their eyes. Do you see hope and prosperity, or do you see, depression and hopelessness? And I say that is when you go to McDonald's tomorrow to get your breakfast biscuit before you go to church, look in that person's eyes. Do they look happy? They might have a smile on their face, but their eyes tell everything. And all I'm saying is, for those listening, and I appreciate you letting me have control of your channel for a minute, Tom. If you really want to know what's going on, just look. It's out there. People are so blinded by social media and all things that are pretty and shiny. Just stop and look at the people. If you want to know what's going on, just stop.
They got to wake up.
Yep.
There is a movement in all realism. The thing is, there's so much power in words. And if we speak well of certain places as well, and if we lift them up verbally, it can absolutely be, something that can contribute to the restoration of a country's strength. And that's the thing as well. That's why I'll always speak positively, even of South Africa. You're right. There are some things, even at the moment, that are heinous. But the thing is that we have to try and focus on silver linings, and that's something that's really important. The States can potentially get back to to a bit of a stronger thing before everybody started fighting. I'm not going to say before it gets back to its great whatever. I'm going to say that people should just get along, and if people start getting along better and start understanding that they might have different perspectives, but being more respectful to one another, I do see that the States can regain that strength.
But Guardian, that
1 second. 1 second. The lady wants to talk. 1 second.
No,
Miss K.
I think the problem is with the states primarily is that people have changed, and it's the smallest thing that I've seen that I think has caused so much friction, and they have changed someone's political identity or sexual identity or whatever identity, however people identify. They have changed that into like that is who that person is, and they speak for all of those. And it's so annoying because like as soon as you hear like I've heard some freaking psycho conservatives, okay, say like some really crazy stuff, and it's like, dude, you can't say that. And then that all of a sudden becomes like, oh, that's all of them. See, that's how all of them are. And then you look at some of the liberals, and some of the liberals, the leftists are like freaking psycho.
There's
as
crazy
hell.
on both sides, of
And then-
course.
and
There's also
then
good on both sides.
Look at them and they're like, oh, look, that's what they're like. And then that becomes that person's whole identity, and everyone who associates with that idea, that becomes their identity, how you view them. And I think that's the biggest problem is like we need to see people as individuals again.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and
I agree with you on that. Exactly.
do that.
Hey, Tom, can I have a couple more minutes?
I Miss K.
Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry, jumping in.
Just to prove your point, can I get the name of the lady I was speaking with? I can't see it on the screen.
Oh no, it's Guardian's wife.
It's K.
Guardian's wife. Okay, cool. Mrs. Guardian, how's that?
That's fine. Okay.
Born in born and raised in a form of Christianity. Okay, I was Seventh-day Adventist. Did time in the military. I'm 50 years old. Spent most of my time in some form of church. Okay, your standard conservative Christian white male. That's what I am. Hate me or love me, I don't care. But before you make that decision, this is the story. My son, John, he passed away back in 2012. So we're coming up. Well, we just passed it, April 22nd, 2012. He died. He had a known heart condition, and doctor said, "Hey, we can fix it, but we got to wait." And there's always the chance he could pass away, and that's what happened. We dealt with it. We're still dealing with it. Okay. The reason I brought him in the story was the high school he went to. He had this new kid come in. We're near a military. We're in a military town, so you get people coming and going. He wasn't well liked and well treated in the high school. My son, being raised by me, your standard white male Christian conservative, told him, "Hey, just love people." He went over, sat down with him at lunch. "Hey, my name's John. What's your name?" Changed the kid's world. Now, let me tell you about this kid. I'm going to go by his alias, affectionately called him Kit. His dad was black, his white. His mom was Filipino, and he's gay. Okay? Enough said. When his dad found out, he ended up getting kicked out of his house. We find out a couple years later, he ends up staying with us for just under a year because he was homeless. A white male Christian conservative had a half black, half Filipino gay male living in his house. No problem. Well, I mean, there were some discussions, but who would have thought? All you got to do is care.
That's commendable. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
That is awesome.
That's
I love
really
that.
And I don't say this story to make myself look good. I just say, as an example, that's what happens when people care. And that's what this world is lacking. People don't care anymore.
I agree, Rebel. I think that it also comes down to not being judgmental, because we shouldn't be the people who judge. Take the log out of your eye before you take the splint out of somebody else's. And I think that it's important to be accepting and kind and loving and compassionate to others. And I know that you're not saying so because you're trying to, boost your egos. And I know it's not about that at all. I absolutely love your story. And I think that it's one that should be shared. And I think
it
it's really
definitely
awesome.
should, because it shows, like, exactly as I was saying, we need to view people as individuals again, like see people's decisions, like the thing is, everybody's life experiences leads them to like make a certain to think of things a certain way. And I'll be honest, like I see some of these like people who go protest, like specifically in the States. I'll speak about the States, not really about my country because it's different. But see the people in the States, like those people have had real cushy, easy lives, eh? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the leftists who go protest,
Not all
like
people.
if
Not all.
not all people, but like if you go look, right? So we watched this one dude where he covers like all kinds of things from different perspectives with regards to protests in the States. So he did the Freedom Convoy, and then he does which okay, well that was in Canada, but he covered that, and then he also covers like BLM protests and stuff. And there's like more white woman there than any actual black people protesting.
Sorry.
Can I tell you something about that?
Yeah, hold
This is
on.
Guardian.
Let it finish, please.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Was
Kay,
you done, Miss
faded
Guardian?
out.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I just feel like these people have had cushy lives, and then they feel like they need to find a reason, like they need to find some meaning in their lives, and then that's where they find it, and then sometimes that energy is like wasted where it could be used on something like actually good. Like there are so many actual good things that we can protest for. Like there is still in the States, there is still like child marriages, right? And it's something that people don't speak about, but there's still child marriages. Let's stop that. Let's actually get to like the nitty gritty stuff that we can change and see people's perspectives. Like, okay, you've had an easier life than me, maybe that's why you view it that way, but that's it, I'm done.
All right, real quick. You want to see a documented, currently going on, messed up side of America? Go on YouTube and punch in the Whitakers. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my
God,
We know.
we know.
Okay.
We laugh
Okay.
about that
Enough
Ray
said. I
guy.
don't want to cover them anymore. That's messed up. But luckily, that's a very, 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 very small percentage of America. But
Yes.
in general, to what you just said about Americans having cushy lifestyles, a lot of people in America do live nice lifestyles, but they're miserable. 90% of Americans, I don't care who you are, what you believe, we're miserable. And with this social media, what you're seeing is miserable people highlighting other miserable people to make themselves feel better for a few seconds. That's all that shit is.
Rebel, do you guys do? The thing is, I understand that there is, moderately the employment rate in the States. There's a lot of things going for the States, but there are a lot of people living in what is it, 10 cities, right? Like places like that. Like there's a lot of people that are still suffering. It's not that we're saying, I don't want people to think that I believe that everybody in the States is happy and they're employed.
We don't think that.
We know there's a lot of struggle.
We know there's suffering and all that.
Yeah,
But what I mean
completely.
is, on a grander scale, what is available to you guys is
better.
Better.
Yeah.
You guys have
Yeah,
a lot
yes, I will agree with you on that. But the thing is with the homeless living in all those tent cities, especially in California, you know what? This is what a lot of people don't know, realize, or understand. The money to get them off the streets has already come from the state and federal governments and been spent on other stuff. Those politicians don't care about the people. All they care about is them getting their money from their government friends and then getting the votes from, including the homeless people, because they probably, we'll get you money. Okay, I'll vote for you. But it never happens. That's the cycle that needs to stop. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, third party, whatever. If that's how you operate, Nancy Pelosi, you need to get the fuck out of office. Sorry I cussed, but you
It's
understand.
going in the politicians' pockets, and I have been preaching since my first stream on YouTube, voter-imposed term limits, because they're not going to do it themselves. Voter-imposed term limits.
Yeah. Well, we the people can impose that by just being proper in our voting.
Exactly.
And that's what's failed the system. We're talking about this, and I'm going over all the Megadeth songs where he talks about this stuff in his songs. Sorry, plug in Megadeth, but that's all he sings about. He's got a song called "The System Has Failed," and it talks about exactly what we're talking about right now.
That's all the real artists talked about, just like Tupac.
Yep.
All of them. They all talked about it. And we don't do shit about it. 'cause we're
We
too
got
fat
to
and
talk about
freaking
it to
lazy.
our friends and neighbors and everybody we run into. Wingnut, good to see you, sir.
Mr.
Morning time,
Wingnut.
morning
Oh
time.
man, I'm out of here. Wingnuts here. What the
Hey, I just subscribed to your page, Wingnut.
hell? What's
Got
up,
the
Thank you.
brother?
channel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I
Check you
appreciate
out.
it. Every little bit counts for everything. Yeah.
Get your algorithms going up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to trip out the algorithm? Look up naked yoga on YouTube. Just saying.
Oh, that's always awesome, dude. It's not the pretty.
I never knew it existed. Tom, don't look it
Really?
up. I know. I see you over there,
Serious?
Tom. I seen you looking it up, but I actually, I never, because I don't. What the hell I'm gonna look it up for, man? I've been married
Hey,
20
if you're
years.
gonna
I
look
ain't
it up,
trying
turn
to
your
look into
camera off and
that
mute your
crap.
mic so we don't see it.
I'm actually still hung up on the Whitakers because I've never heard of these people.
Oh my God.
They
Oh my
are-
God. Don't cuss
they
me
are
out when you
loons.
see it. Don't cuss me out. Don't come back and cuss me out when you see that stuff. Please
Okay,
don't.
be enlightened here. I got to go look it up.
I wouldn't
Is
have.
there?
I wouldn't have said anything about it at all.
No, you don't
Rebel
need
brought it
to.
up.
You don't need to go actually look up the Whitakers. All you need to do is
Don't.
watch a movie called Wrong Turn, and it's exactly the same people. Okay, except they don't. That's
Yep.
the only difference.
Are you
guys.
talking? Are you
The
talking
Whitaker-
about the family from what is it, Virginia or something?
Yeah.
Is that the
They've been
Whitakers?
inbred for generations.
Yeah.
Generations of
Oh.
inbreeding.
Their parents were inbred already. We googled
Oh,
that.
That's the term for it.
Yes,
It's,
they are. They're.
If- Hey,
Oh, I can't remember the exact name for it, but their parents were already like from an incestuous relationship, and then they came along. So
Also-
it's like
yeah,
three
brothers,
generations.
cousins, sisters, aunts, uncles, it don't matter.
what's the other
Wingnuts
one?
family.
Hey, can I tie that into something real quick?
I'm not gonna say this because of the state that I live in. I didn't grow up in the state, but they give Alabama. If that's true, they are from Virginia, how in the hell is Alabama known as that?
Do you know what the meaning "I live up in a holler" means?
Yes, I do know what the actual
That
meaning.
explains everything. I guarantee you, if you go to every 50 states known to this union, you'll find a holler where you'll find a family that lives like the Whitakers. Guaranteed. I'm from Iowa. I didn't have to go far to find that.
Everybody east of me is inbred. I'm just saying.
Well, you live on
And
the
everybody
West Coast
around
then?
you might be too.
Yeah.
You say you don't know, Ghetto.
I live in Oregon. I'm too beautiful to be inbred, man. Leave me out of it.
I didn't say you. I said people around you. There's a difference, damn it.
But
You are mighty
real quick about the inbreeding. If you look at that movie and look at the Whitaker films that are available on YouTube, that explains why a lot of the modern societies failed in the past that had royal families involved because of inbreeding. To keep the power in the family, you got to fuck the family.
Well, then how the hell did Adam and Eve do it? I'm not saying it's right.
All right,
I'm just
hold
I
on.
get confused with that one.
There's a biblical explanation for that. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, I can explain that to you. Okay. If Tom wants to take the time to let
Well,
me
you don't
explain
have
that.
to. I mean, it was more just a rhetorical question or whatnot.
Well, you know what? If
those types of conversations get kind of thick on YouTube panels.
Oh yeah. Hey,
so that's
Ghetto,
definitely Tom's. Yeah, what's up?
Do you do live streams?
Yes, sir, I do.
I'll hop on one of your live streams if you want. We can talk about it on your channel.
Oh yeah, like I said, it was more rhetorical. I'm open for it. As long as you're open for my questions and my feelings about everything. I usually piss everybody off.
Just for clarification, I'm sorry. Okay, who were the children of Adam and Eve?
You had
Cain and
Abel, and
Cain
Seth,
and Abel.
and then Seth was the third child.
Okay.
So where's the daughters at?
They came
Well, they don't
afterwards.
mention women a
No,
whole
they
lot in the
can't.
Bible.
Well, if you go back into the Old Testament and study the lineage of everybody from Adam and Eve, you will see that they had daughters because there were prominent male figures mentioned in the Old Testament that they said they were married to the daughters of Adam. It states
Yeah.
that in the Old Testament.
Do you
Where?
think
I can't
back
tell you
then
right now. I have to look it up.
Yeah,
it
but I
was
don't remember like reading any like mentioning them, too much. It's like they don't name them by name and
No,
talk
no.
about their
That's because
story.
man wrote the Bible, and back then women weren't, high on their priority list. That's why I have a
Wo-
hard time. I'm a man of faith. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, see, back
just
then, women had a purpose and they lived by their purpose.
it's fucking garbage.
No,
Sorry,
that the purpose
sorry,
they lived
Tom.
by. No, real quick, the purpose that they lived by was set forth by God.
I beg to differ, my fellow brother.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Because if they're created in His image or her image, whatever God may be, and I'm not trying to commit blasphemy here.
I understand.
I don't know. I don't think there's a gender when it comes to God, but
No.
if we're in God's image, then why would either one of us be at a lower level?
Wait, can you say that again, please?
Well,
Ghetto, can you say that last piece again?
I said if we're both going to be in His image, then why would either one of us, be on a lower level? I said lower level. I did, because that's how women were treated.
Oh, okay. Let me talk about that just briefly. Referring back to the God-given purpose for women, the Israeli women lived by that. Okay, now outside of the Israelites? What did we have?
You tell me, brother.
Sorry, give me just a second. I got PTSD. I got the knowledge. I just got to get it to my tongue. Gentiles. If you're not an Israelite, you're a Gentile. I don't care what color your skin is. You're a Gentile. Okay. Right. So, us being Gentiles, are there any Jews on panel or in chat right now? I need to know before I say this. Okay.
It's like those racial jokes. You kind of look over your shoulder first before you say it, right?
No. I say that to preface what I'm about to say. Okay. If you're not, to use the word, that everybody understands more easily, if you're not a Jew, you're not going to understand God's purposes 100%. Even I don't, because I'm not a Jew.
But if you're a Jew, you'll understand it.
You'll have a better understanding than I would. At least back then they did. And they still have that knowledge today. If they choose to live by it, that's on them, not me. But that's the reason why, man, today, when I make a comment, a godly given purpose for a woman, you're like, oh, that's balderdash. No, you just don't understand the relationship between Israel and God. And that's all.
Okay, but I'm
not just, let me finish real quick. And I say that not to, poke fun or like, no, that's just truth. That's just truth. We're Gentiles. We don't understand unless you read and research. That's all. That's all I got to say.
No, I hear you, man. I mean, what we believe in on a personal level it's going to be different. That's just kind of the way it goes. I mean, it doesn't mean one is the full-on truth of the other. I don't know. I mean, and if you do, right on. I don't believe that there's a particular people on the planet that's going to know more than me. We all inherit the earth the same. We're following. I have faith. Don't get me wrong. I have faith. Long story, but I've had faith since I couldn't even remember. But to follow a book that man himself wrote, and it always say that the Jews were the chosen people. I don't know, man. Maybe it's what's up, Vaughn? My man.
Hey, Vaughn.
Hey, I got to come back to what you just said when you're done.
I just think of one instance, right? Let's look at Mary, right? God put Jesus in her, and forgive me, Tom. You know me, you love me, I love you too. I'm not trying to mock. I'm not trying to do any kind of blasphemy when I'm talking like this. But so when it comes to Mary, right? She was a virgin. You know, Jesus was put in her, right? At what age? 13, 14 years old, round about
Somewhere
then.
around there. General consensus was
You're
15.
telling me that's not a cruel fucking act? That would be so cruel to take a virgin child and put a baby inside of her. I don't care what time in history that was. Me personally, and I don't mean to get all emotional about it. I'm sorry, but to me that is an act against your own children to do something like that. So
Okay.
I just don't all the way follow all the stories and or things that were written in a man-made book. I understand the faith in it. I can go to my Bible and I can talk to God. Don't get me wrong. I just think a lot of the stories are just that, stories.
Have you ever noticed, Ghetto, like even like a lot of stories from even other cultures and other gods, a lot of gods had sex with humans. I mean, there's even stories of half man, half gods out there because they were children of these acts and stuff. So it's not like an uncommon thing, you know what I mean? I mean,
Unfortunately,
it's like evidently.
Tom, real quick. Can I say something to Tom real quick?
I think the chat is kind of denying us on this biblical talk, though.
Well,
so,
I can't even
it's up
see
to
chat
Tom.
right
It's
now.
his channel.
Hey, I just want to say to you, Tom, I'm sorry for hijacking your stream. I apologize. I'm first time on here. I do apologize. But, it is very interesting. And to Ghetto with what, you had questions about, I respect the questions and the inquiry to the knowledge. But, you mentioned, you get emotional about it. Totally understandable. We're human. I get emotional too. But when it comes to biblical questions and debates like this, I always ask before I go into one, I got my knowledge, okay? But I always go into them, how does this discussion / topic affect my salvation and my soul going to heaven? Because if it doesn't, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to get emotional about it. And with that, me having that knowledge for myself, I find myself being able to have a lot more logical conversations because, when we have discussions, this isn't against you, Ghetto. I'm just saying this is to everybody because everybody on YouTube gets into these, heated conversations and gets emotional. And there's nothing wrong with that. But something I was talking to some people about last night is if you want to be able to have a logical conversation about touchy subjects, without getting emotional or hurt feelings, just cut the pettiness out of your life, my life. I did that. Nothing you can say to me is going to offend me to a certain line. And that certain line is way down the road for me because I'm not going to let my petty emotions dictate how I talk to other people.
Right.
And I'm saying that this is not a dig against you, Ghetto, because I used to be just like that and I got nowhere. When you get the pettiness
I've been plenty. I've been plenty. I mean, it is to me because you're directing it to me and you're talking about how I got emotional.
I'm just saying,
I was talking about the emotions in a different way, man.
Yeah,
everybody knows my feelings on it, but sorry, Guardian. What's up, brother?
Just for 1 second, right?
Who just popped up?
Yeah, give me like 1 minute on this conversation to just express a little bit of thought because of what you guys are talking about. So I think that it's really important. Let me make sure that I say this smoothly in the best way possible. I think that if we all understand who and what God is from the different religions, right, all across the board, and we understand that God is way smarter, way more mighty, way more everything than what we could possibly be. In every single religion, God is much more superior to man, all right? If we can understand that, we can understand that God would be understanding as to what our current lives are at the moment in the modern world, where we have almost adapted and evolved and moved into a world where we have got a lot more respect for everybody in general, men, women, whatever religion, whatever color. Like there's heinous stuff that happens in the Bible, whether people want to believe that or not as well, because I'm well versed on this when it does come to it. Trust me. And when I say this, and I'm not just in Christianity. Like I really research religions quite intensely for many reasons. But the reason why I'm saying this is because the mighty God that is up there, that is above all of us, is all about love. From all the religions, he's always about love, right? Love is not conditional. Love, his unconditional love, sure, he doesn't like the things that we do sometimes and that type of thing. Sorry for my screen flashing. My last note that I'm saying about this is that the God, all-powerful, would see into our hearts and would not approve of some of the stuff that's quote-unquote done in these days in his name.
Oh,
And
yeah.
not just, but the reason why I won't speak about religion very often is because I do think it's divisive to a degree. And not only that, but there's a lot of people that have absolutely done many horrible things, saying that they do so in God's name. So I'm not going to tell you off the bat, hi guys, I'm a Christian, or I'm a Catholic, or I'm a Jew, or whatever the hell I am, right? I'm not going to tell you that off the bat, because that's not what I want you to see me as. I'm a person first, like I'm a person, and then it's those other things that behind. All of this wrapped up, what I'm trying to say is that irrespective of whatever you want to see it as, God himself is a God of love and understanding. And he also, when it comes to children, don't mess with kids. And kids are anybody under 18.
Yeah,
when it
buddy.
comes to kids, God says, do not mess with kids. Absolutely. You mess with kids, whether that be through quote unquote marriage in your own culture.
That was Ghetto's point, though.
Yeah.
Or immaculate conception. That's what I mean. It doesn't make sense how the narrative was, but at the same exact time, I think it's we all have our own respect for it.
I
We all
want to
have
ask
our
a
own
question.
place.
I want to ask a question to Mr.
What's up,
Ghetto.
Bessie? What up, man?
Where in the Bible does it actually say the age of Mary?
That's why I'm asking them. The old timers actually
Okay.
know,
There
but that
is
would be
no
the
age in the
time.
on
Bible.
that?
We don't actually know how old Mary was. A
That's
Can I-
not
lot
what
of
Ray was
people
speaking about.
assume that she was 12 or 13 years old. We actually don't know.
Nope. Can I touch on that real quick? The
Go
age
ahead,
of
Ray.
marriage. There's that's a very vague question, because there's a lot of cultures and religions you got to take into account for first. Okay. Now, in the case of Mary being an Israelite back there in the Old Testament times, the age of consent for marriage for both male and female was 13, because they had already gone through the bat mitzvah and bar mitzvah. Now, that's for their religion and their culture. Is it appropriate for our beliefs outside of that? It can be, but is it a general consensus amongst man? No, it's not. And is that wrong or right? That's up to interpretation. Me personally, 18's the age limit.
Yeah, but the 13 was the bet, but like you said, the bet mitzvah. But what AC was saying, angry conservative was saying, you don't actually know. Plus, back then, different tribes practiced different cultures. All the Jews did not practice the same culture, and also it depends on the geographic where you lived, in the world. So we don't know actually what age Mary was. No one knows unless
I did mention earlier in the stream that the general consensus from the Israeli Bible scholars, they would have placed Mary at approximately 15 when Jesus was born.
Right, that's what
approximately.
Right, but that's
Yeah.
that's their theory. That's their theory. They don't actually know. The General Council approved that due to some of the findings that they came across to determine what age she maybe was. Well, they don't know actually what age she was.
Yeah, but going back to what earlier said, with this discussion, how does that apply to my personal salvation and making sure my soul goes to heaven? It don't. It's immaterial to me personally, but it's knowledge that people need to understand to get to that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I understand, like with some people, like what Ghetto was feeling emotionally, because people would not want their child to be, it's just emotions that we look at things, especially in this day of time. So I understand, but you're right. Just saying.
Yeah.
I was just saying emotional because I was getting loud and I wasn't trying to get loud over on Tom's stuff.
Yeah, I totally
I really
understand
wasn't
all that.
emotional.
But for those that
Yeah,
have
you
read
good.
and studied the birth of Jesus, she was, for all 10 purposes, an older teenager. General consensus, okay? Roughly older teenagers, maybe early 20s. But the one thing is, Jesus was her firstborn child. And
As
he
a
was,
virgin. That's
of a
proven,
virgin,
right?
immaculate
Virgin.
conception. What does that make that? That makes that a miracle.
That makes it a very hard birth.
Hard.
Her hymen wasn't
Standard
even.
birth is just an
I
unnatural
don't know.
conception.
I just look at the other stuff, but I mean no disrespect, Rebel.
Yeah, I totally
Tom,
understand.
is that fire going still? I'm just saying. I mean no disrespect because I'm gonna divert
I
the
ain't
whole
gonna.
conversation.
Oh,
I
that's
want
fine.
to throw in on this a little bit.
Okay,
Mankind has
you the
been
boss.
a disappointment to God since day one. He
Yeah.
actually out loud regretted creating us.
Yep.
He showed a lot of patience. A lot of patience. We said we couldn't listen to what he said to us. And we said, give us law. And he gave us law. And we couldn't follow the law. He finally decided these people are so far gone, I've got to go down there and become one of them, so that, not necessarily so that he could understand us, but to be one of us. And he struck a tent in human flesh, and it had to be a virgin birth because God, being perfect, could not be born of imperfection. So whatever pain that may have caused Mary, God took care of that. God worked around that. And what he did, he went to hell himself in our place. And all we got to do is believe that.
Yep.
And we're good. And people will say, well, you got to behave in a certain way. Well, if you believe that, it ain't a struggle to behave in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're not judged on works. Your works are forgiven and covered for, as long as you believe that he went to that effort and did that.
Well said.
And literally took our hell off our backs onto his own and experienced that for himself. So
Sorry.
we were talking about what's wrong with this country. And we got distracted.
Yeah. Sorry.
Tom,
Blame
thing
Ghetto. It's
about
cool.
it, no, with what we're talking about, that's what this nation's problem is.
Yep.
We got
Yep.
away from something. We
Ding,
got
ding,
away
ding.
from something.
Or we never
Yep.
had it in the first place.
No, we had in the
That
first place. We lost it.
Yeah.
Give that man a cookie. AC got it.
Yeah.
I've been
I don't know.
saying that since when 2016 rolled around. I didn't like either one of the candidates. So, and I said we went away from teaching about something in school. Now it has to be taught in prison. What's that tell you?
You got a point there.
Can I say something about the 2016 election that's very non-political on the mainstream?
Go for it.
When that happened, when they had the group of 16 for the conservative side, my wife asked me, out of these people, who are you pulling for? And I told her, I'll tell you my top three. And I'll say who I've said in order as I said it: Ben Carson, Jill Stein, and Donald Trump. And she's like, oh, why Donald Trump? I said, because he's not a career politician. And neither are the other two.
He was a businessman.
Yep.
And I didn't know who he was. I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't know anything about him. But I always felt the country ought to be run like a business.
Yep.
And what's going on today is a perfect example of what can happen to a company when you hire the wrong people.
When you go woke, you go broke.
The country is a business. the United States in all capital letters is technically classified as a corporation. All right. So I mean, technically, the country or the Fed have been bankrupt and bought out, and is now classified as a corporation, is posing as a government. So all this election shit, you think about it. Every corporation's got a president, a secretary, a board of directors, a treasurer. It's the exact same thing. All right. It's nothing but a corporation. You got to understand this is how they are acting. This is how they've been acting as like a business, because they got fucking bankrupt and bought out because they fucking got greedy and shit. Now some other businesses got control over it. I mean, this is what's really in reality what's been happening.
The gentleman that's speaking, I can't read the name on the screen. It's too small. What's your name by the screen?
Wingnut.
Wingnut. Okay. Do you know what an MLM is?
Not familiar. Go ahead.
Multi-level marketing.
Okay.
That's what America is. We're multi-level on different markets. Commerce. That's what America is. It's commerce. That's why we're here. That's why Europeans came here. For free commerce.
Well, I mean, that's why the whole deal up there in Ukraine's going on, is because the EU and the fucking NATO, they want to keep the petrodollar in play, and that's the reason why. Is because that's exactly what happened, like with Castro and what was it, dude down in Cuba or whatever.
And all that.
They wanted to try and use their own currency, and they got whacked. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that damn Putin's wanting to do. He's wanting to like force everybody to start using the Russian ruble. What do you think they're going to try and do? They're going to try and whack them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to play out for everything, but it's the whole thing is about the petrodollar. You know what I mean? When it comes down to the commerce thing, it is a business. This is trying to keep their little Ponzi scheme afloat. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
This is Enron at a bigger level. That's all this is.
And they're using violence and war to consolidate everything into this one world government, where all governments have to bow down to the one world central UN or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Because it's NATO, UN, EU, all that bullshit all into one. That's what it is. And that's the reality of what's going on. And I mean, people just need to start making all the little connections and stuff. It's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, okay, how do we make these elite motherfuckers homeless and jobless and fucking penniless again? Honestly. Because honestly, these motherfuckers, just because they've got all of our wealth that we've earned, that we've blood, sweat, and tears and did ourselves with our own hands, they're stealing it from us in the form of taxes. And they're writing all this stuff on magical pieces of paper with magical ink and shit, and then we sprinkle with pixie dust, and then we're all supposed to bow down, or they'll use violence against us.
Yeah,
that's the reality. That's the reality.
Well, we got to be willing to use that violence back.
Yeah. The AC real quick, when you mentioned Enron with the current, commerce in America, I was thinking more of Jim and what's her name? Baker. Tammy Faye. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh yeah. Dude, my gosh. I'm from Orlando actually, so
but I was that's the first when he was talking about it. That's the first thing that popped into my head because I was watching a thing earlier Saturday about the demise of Enron, and I was like, this is just like Enron.
Why do you think that these corporations keep on also bailing out all these other corporations? I mean, out of our money, out of the money that we earn, our earnings, all right? And then also bailing out all these other fucking countries now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking about earlier, Disney. Look at what's happened down there in Florida. Oh, you want to try and influence our politics? We're going to tax you to death.
All right. Yeah.
And that's how you fight back against these big corporations
for the last 50 years.
Sorry, Tom.
Because I was watching MSNBC, The Morning Joe. I was watching that show, and the lady said that the Republicans will not vote to have it passed. And as soon, right after she said that, Morning Joe comes on and says, the Florida Senate just passed the bill taking all that stuff away. The look on her face was priceless. I'm not a leftist anymore. I don't believe in that, but I do watch them because I want to know what they're saying.
Well, we have to do our homework. You know, the bright spot in this is that there are decent people,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them do have a little bit of power. And we got to support these people, and we have to find other people that are decent, that are going to represent us the way that we deserve to be represented.
But how do we, because I'm not asking,
You know-
how do we determine who's real and who's fake? Who's just drifting off of what Mr. T started? Even though I'm pissed at the man, I'm not going to hide that. I am pissed at the man because of who he endorsed. But that's a whole nother story. How do we get to those people and find out if they're real or if they're just trying to get into the ivory tower?
Can I say something to that, AC?
Go ahead.
Go.
Like I mentioned to Ghetto earlier, this is what my opinion. So, I say this with love. Put your petty emotions aside and just listen to what they're saying. They're speaking the truth of what they believe. If it's right or wrong. If we put our emotions aside, our pettiness aside, and just listen to what everybody's saying, they're going to reveal what's true in their hearts. And that's what people aren't doing. They're too blinded by social media and everything that glamours and clad in gold that they let their petty emotions dictate how they live. Kardashians, hello.
I mean, the irony is we're on social media talking about it.
That's why I always say keep the emotions out of what you discuss. That way you can maintain a logical conversation and not somebody end up getting butthurt.
You remember? I don't know.
That's
See,
all I say.
I'm kind of showing my age a little bit too. But you remember back in the old days, they used to on the telephone. They used to have the party line. And this is what it kind of reminds me of. It's like I like that kind of thing. That's the reason why I like talking on the CB, because it reminds me of the party line. And this is kind of like that too. It's like this communal party line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a different medium. Go ahead.
You know what I loved about CBs back in the day? Hide and seek.
Well, see, that's the thing about the CB and radio. Instead of actually depending on an infrastructure that's already set up to use it, each person just going out and getting a radio and creating its own station becomes the infrastructure as a whole. Each one of them is the infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? And that's one way you can't destroy it, because it's individual. If you think about it, the same thing in about this country, in a sense. All right, if you consider this country as a corporation like it is, we come with it if it goes down or if it gets bought up. We're just part of the corporation. The employees.
No, why aren't we the damn stockholders?
Well, okay, that may be true, but we are not treated like stockholders.
Well, that shit's got to change.
I agree. I agree. That's the thing, though. It's like, instead of having one person as a president, in a sense, quote unquote, why not all of us be president? I mean,
that's true.
That would
Well, if you look at the proper setup of the U.S. government,
So they
that's
booted
what
him
they
off
had
the
intended.
internet. Sorry. Wingnut was touching on some truth. They kicked his ass off. Like, no, boy, get out of here.
Wait a minute, hold up. Everybody be president? Oh, whoa, get him out.
Hold on. If you look back at how the American government was initially set up, that's how it was supposed to be. You had representatives speaking on behalf of a certain group of people. and they bastardized that process, and that's why we're living the life we live today.
But
it was there, it was working.
But the
man
thing is,
screwed it up.
Yeah, that's true. We could go back and talk about the old, but let's just look at, like what Tom said, you have to research. Let's look at the system, the way it's set up today. Even if you put someone in office, they have to do at least 8 to 12 hours on the phone trying to get money for the party, will put them in for money for to put them in office. That takes away. Then you have bills that come that they cannot read. You cannot read the bill. You don't have enough time for you to vote for the bill. Things that set up, it's not one person's going to be able to go into office and just change things unless the entire system needs to be changed. That's what Ron Paul been saying the whole time.
Because
you cannot change. You got the Federal Reserve working as its own. You got the CIA working as its own. How are you going to be able to get in there and change things when you got different parts of the government that's working on its own by law?
Yeah, and that are backing each other up as well. Von Erica, 100%, exactly that.
Yep. Amen,
but
brother.
the thing about it,
That's how we were created, though.
there's a famous woman that said, when a certain bill came up in front of Congress, you'll have to vote for it to find out what's in it. Yep. And everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say that remark, and you know who said it. So all I have to do is, I don't even have to speak the woman's name or what bill it was. All I have to say is that quote. Think about that. All you have to do is vote for it, and you can find out what's in the bill.
And that.
Welcome back out.
Hey,
oh hell no!
That's
what
just popped up on screen.
Have you, man?
That those type of things. If you can't change it, that's why you have to look at it another way. You have to do like what we're doing, and Guardian touched on this. You have to and Tom touched on this. Educate each other. Know what's coming out. Know what the bill is. You can sit there and research and educate, and then when you educate yourself, tell your brothers and sisters. Don't keep it within yourself. Tell them this bill is getting ready to come. We know most laws, when it does enact, it takes 1 to 2 years before it's implemented. Get yourself ready, set yourself up so this bill will not do you no harm. It's you can do it just like anybody else, but if you know and knowledge yourself, research, educate yourself, and educate your brothers and sisters, we can overcome whatever system is implemented. But we just don't, some of us just talk, but we don't educate each other and we don't help each other. Like you said, we must love each other and educate each other so we can get through whatever the system may throw at us.
And if they're lying to us, it goes right back to voter imposed term limits. Vote them out. Don't give them a second chance.
Exactly.
Well, that's becoming a thing of the past too, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Say
like,
sup, bug out.
No, I said that's becoming a thing of the past too. Like, voting is not what it used to be.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And hello, bug out. I hope you're having a wonderful morning and all that fun shit.
I think he's flirting with you, bug out.
Yeah, I think he has something.
No, I'm just trying to be a nice guy for once. I don't know what the fuck getting into me, but I'm enjoying the conversation.
Well, it looks like Bug Out's the only one you've been nice to, though.
Right?
Come on, Eric, just shut the fuck up. I've heard enough. I was actually not agreeing with what you said, but for that remark, fuck you.
Hey, I would kind of like to keep the profanity to a minimum. I mean,
sorry about that, Tom,
but not vulgar, if you don't mind.
I was gonna say, Tom, I was like, man, Ghetto's the only one that has not dropped the F-bomb about 17 times, like all these other degenerates.
Shoot. I'm a degenerate. I will admit to that. Sorry about that, Tom.
We all do it, man. We all do it. Just try to.
Bobby Bird.
Remember a story from my grandfather. He was in the union meeting, and there was a guy there that was being particularly vulgar. Not that I'm saying anybody here has been tonight, but somebody pointed it out to the guy. Said, "Hey man, kind of watch your mouth a little bit, will you?" And he looked around. And he said, "Well, there's no ladies in here, are they?"
Oh snap!
And the guy said, "No, but there's a few gentlemen." So that's my only point.
Oh wow!
So we have to get rid of the gentleman. I totally agree.
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Gentlemen in here. Who's the gentleman, Steve?
See y'all later.
Yeah, Ghetto will be the first one to probably gotta go.
But
Hell no.
and Ghetto, I do want to ask you about you say you live in California, right?
No, I've never said that. Not sure why everybody assumes it, but I ain't never said it.
The whole West Coast is the same place.
Y'all ain't seen some white thugs in any other state.
Because if you
I mean-
did, I was gonna ask you about AB 2223.
I wouldn't even know if I lived in California.
That's the abortion law, right?
That's the abortion law.
Right on. Is that
I was
is that
because
really
I've been
true?
reading that they are upping it to 28 days where a mom can decide. I've read
Man, we just
articles.
touching all the
I haven't seen 28 days in the legislation. I've been researching that bill for a while because of personal things that's happened in my life that some of you know, some of you don't, and I'm not going into all that. But I haven't seen where it says 28 days.
Okay.
If someone can point me into a direction of the actual legislation, I would be much appreciative of it.
Independent just put it up. Bill 223. Yeah, Independent just put it
Well, I think I'm not the boss here, but I think an abortion conversation should be at least a couple women on the panel.
I'm
Well,
not
Ghetto,
trying. No, I
you're
was
not
just
from,
asking about the bill.
Yeah, you're not from California, though.
You're not from California, Ghetto, but can you tell us about 40-ounce bottles? Can you tell us anything
Hell
about that?
yeah, man. They're so delicious. Old English. F-U-C-K, that's how you spell it. St. Ides. And Miller Genuine Draft. All about the Old English.
Wait a minute. Bug out knows about 40s. He been all
He sure does.
He know everything about 40s.
He's as ghetto as me. He just went a different direction as
Every
an adult.
country he went to, he found out they had 40s. We're talking about ghetto.
Oh, did they though? In other countries, they have 40s of Old English. Bug out?
Bushido don't.
No, they don't.
Okay, I didn't think so. I can't even find Old English in the little hillbilly farm towns.
Hey,
it's only in the cities.
I'll tell you what, though, that is, if you ever drive around the country, when you're in the gas stations, go to the beer section, and if there's not 40-ounce bottles in there, then you don't have to double check if you lock the doors in your car, you know?
That's
terrible.
Hey, Bud, kick this guy out of here, man.
Afghanistan, and Bushido, they didn't have 40s in Afghanistan?
Dude, it's an Islamic republic. Alcohol's illegal there.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought they had it and then where the Americans was.
Yeah. There's also a thing, and this was a loophole that we had. There's a thing called a guest house permit, where if you are, and you have to be a foreigner, you cannot be an Afghan and get a guest license. But with the guest house license that we had, because our compound, there's a bunch of things that we did, but like we would do a lot of airport runs because people didn't trust if they didn't qualify for the diplomatic embassy security, and then they didn't trust hiring locals to get them somewhere because people were paying locals for security and they were the guys that were going to rob them. So not only did they pay them and get in the car willfully, the second the car left the airport, they just pulled over and said, "Now give me all your money," you know? And so then they started trying to hire other people. Well, we took advantage of that. So we were always doing airport runs and stuff. And we also had the AB cards, so we could go wherever we wanted, even when the roads were black. The military when Obama was president, wasn't even really allowed to leave the bases for most of his presidency. That's how, because he wanted low casualties, so he just stopped fighting the war and said, "Look at how low my casualties are. I'm the best president ever." But he was using drone strikes to attack everybody. You know,
great president.
Yeah,
there you go.
So the drone strikes didn't calculate them under casualty, right?
Right, and he was settling all his scores with weddings and funerals, blowing people up and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say he was the best president ever, but he turned out to be just as much of a businessman as Trump was, as far as crooked money went. You know,
Right?
Exactly.
I'm still waiting for a brother to be president. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm waiting.
Oh my
well,
Hey,
dude,
hey.
I keep saying, like, Obama, like, he'll go down in history as the first gay president. You know,
right.
Damn. Who's the gentleman below Tom on screen?
Von Erich.
Now, he's
Vaughn
doing
Eric.
a
Okay,
census
how you
and
doing,
shit.
Vaughn?
Vaughn, I
Hey,
didn't
Vaughn.
say hi to you.
How you doing?
You know who I'd like to see be the first black president?
Oh,
Dave Chappelle.
Dang, he just picked you out, Vaughn, like you're gonna, you know.
okay. I mean, Ghetto's black.
Pat him out. Black than Vaughn, what you doing, free?
Ghetto is black. Guardian is black. Okay.
Well, I directed it because you talked about having a real brother president. I just saying, you know, for
Nah,
being,
I said that.
oh, you said, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't see it. I was looking away from the screen. I apologize.
That's no problem, man.
My choice would be Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
I'd
I
take
said
it
we
one
don't
further.
need no president.
I can
F
see
them all, man.
To take it one further, man, and I wish he was still alive to be able to do it, but Richard Pryor would have been a good one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Red
That
Fox.
would have been great.
That would have been a crazy for 4 years, man. You'd be like, that's over already?
Wasn't Jefferson or one of them?
What part of Richard Pryor? When he was on crack or when he got off of crack?
Well,
Right
a little
after
bit
he
of
got
both.
burned up.
Like a fusion, you know?
Oh, okay. Both? Okay. I got
I'm just saying the candid nature that he had, you know?
Yeah.
Pryor.
Now, if I was to pick a comedian, I think George Carlin would have done
Yes.
it the best.
It's
That's
funny. I
what
was
I mean,
just about to segue
Yeah.
into that, man. You just read my
Yeah,
mind. It's
there's
crazy how you do that sometimes.
Well,
Right.
the thing is, I do understand as well, but the thing is, he brings up Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle, on a lot of topics, if you watch some of his interviews, and like,
Yeah.
I know, it's a bit of a contentious figure to some, and I understand that, but like, in a lot of ways, if you watch his interviews and listen to him talk, not when he does comedy skits even and that type of thing. I'm speaking about times where you'll have like, proper sit downs and conversations. Look out for those type of things from Dave Chappelle, and you'll see that. I know that you guys are going to be completely surprised if we had to, being South African, I feel that I can kind of have an opinion about this type of thing as well. And I know that you guys are going to laugh at my opinion, but I love Kanye West. You guys can laugh at me all you want. I know that he's crazy as hell and he's so contentious and he's so upside down. I'm not saying him. I know, Ghetto. I know.
I agree
But sometimes.
I agree.
Sometimes you need something very different and a different way. And look, like sometimes a different perspective can make things incredible.
Yeah.
Like sometimes a change up can be amazing. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead, Vaughn.
No, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
But don't you think he's as white as Obama?
Oh,
No, dude, you can't.
oh.
I don't
Hey,
know, man.
at least we know. At least we know Kanye is married to a real woman.
Ain't she still with Kim
Well,
Kardashian or whatever the hell?
Manufactured, but okay.
I have no idea.
I see where you're going at, though. I definitely see.
Sometimes a change is really a good thing. Sometimes a bit of a fresh perspective, and that. But I don't know, like we should be in the world at the moment. I don't really care what, just my own opinion.
Like honestly,
We should
like,
have. When did
skin
we have
color shouldn't freaking
But
matter.
let me raise something else
like
quickly.
even a little bit.
Right.
Like
No, it
I
shouldn't.
don't get why it matters because so like I was born in a South Africa that was already a democracy and everything, right? Like I never lived under like the apartheid regime or whatever, right? Like I was born after that. So I grew up with like all the races going to school with me. I never had that segregation. So for me, it's just like people, I don't get why there's that mindset of there's differences. I mean, sure, there's like small differences and stuff, but like nothing that really matters, you know?
Can I say culturally though? Can I say culturally what I'd like to see from a certain culture? I'd like to see a female African American woman running the country for a bit, and I know people are gonna say, but
Oh,
why?
hell no.
But no.
I don't think so.
No, from a
We'd be
certain
in
culture.
nuclear war within minutes.
That's
Actually,
Suggest
Guardian,
somebody?
I was
I
only
suggest
making a
somebody?
joke.
I
Sorry,
think
Guardian.
they're a step ahead of us on that, Guardian, because
Let
I
Guardian
think-
finish, y'all.
oh wait,
Sorry, man. I was
It's
only
just-
playing.
And
No,
I
for
wouldn't
me,
care
and see,
which
this is
color,
where-
but I'm saying from a cultural, because there's something so
No.
fiery
No,
and
I
something
think-
so strong about like the way that like that in that culture is. And I'm not saying as a stereotype, all stereotypes are BS. I get this, but I'm saying if you had to look at a cultural side, you know.
No, in my opinion, I don't think any of that matters. I think someone who's qualified and someone who can do a good job, that's all it needs to be.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what gender you are, what sex you are, you know, or like what race you are. Like none of that shit matters. Sorry.
No,
for
it
my language.
doesn't. It doesn't.
But
But we were
it
speaking
needs to
hypothetically.
be- no, it doesn't. I don't think there's any person, like Ghetto said earlier, like none of us are. We're not lower or higher than one another. You know, we're the same. So I don't think it matters. I think what matters is that the person knows what the hell they're doing and how to deal with the different scenarios that would come up, like foreign policy and stuff like that. You can't have somebody who's gonna, you know, get offended easily because
let
that's
me run this by you.
evolves.
So, do you think that the party of tolerance, the left, do you think they weren't a step ahead of people thinking we should have an African American woman as president when they ran Kamala and said she was black when she really came from a Jamaican slave owner family and she's more Indian than she is black, but they
That's
ran
not-
her as a black person to poison the well to have people go, well, we tried that and look at what we got, like
Well,
they
yeah.
do these things to sabotage people's line of thinking for later, and I think
'Cause
that's
that's
what
not-
they did with Obama as well.
Yeah, that's not the. But I completely hear where you're coming from, Bushido, and that wouldn't be my recommended. That wouldn't be my
Okay,
recommendation
so
when it comes to.
No.
there's this chick that I watch, right? And I
But I hear what
really
you're saying,
like
sorry.
her. And I think like the way she thinks is very interesting, the way she thinks about things. And like, okay, I'm not even gonna say who she is, but the way she thinks about things, and she's like a black lady, and that like I just find her perspective very interesting because she has a lot of logic behind like the way she rationalizes like topics.
Oh, you're
I
talking
wouldn't
about,
say
Guardian.
but like I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah,
This is
politics.
Guardian.
That sound like Tulsi Gilbert or something. Sound like, but
No, can I mention somebody?
oh,
Candace Owens.
well, what the
That's
hot
who
button
I
about
thought
that
she
is,
was speaking. That's who I thought she was speaking about.
well,
I like Candace Owens, but a lot of the black community doesn't like her. That are the
Oh,
conservative
no.
black community.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
I don't-
it does.
yeah.
I mean,
it matters a lot.
Well, I didn't like the white Joe Biden, but he still got elected.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right.
You
It's a
shouldn't
lot-
have let him get elected.
they
Just
still-
because you don't
maybe
like
should I
him
have?
because of skin color, like Mrs. Guardian said, it shouldn't matter.
No,
Well-
but it's not the skin color that they don't is that's not.
It's the Uncle Tomness.
Yeah, it's the
It's
things
not-
that it's the things that she does. But to Mrs.
Yeah.
Miss Guardian, to y'all, she said that she wasn't raised in a apartheid or
Oh, yeah.
in segregation, which is. But even though you wasn't, don't sometimes you get accused of it, even though you wasn't.
That's such a trap question, though. That's because if
Well,
we had to answer, if we had to, I think what the best way that I can answer that as well, Von Eric, is and
No, it happens. It's true. Like
Well,
it's
whoa,
unfortunate,
whoa.
but it does.
Don't
happen.
get yourselves in trouble, guys.
No,
Please.
no.
I'm worried
can I
about
say
y'all.
something about that? Can I say something
Well, I
along
mean,
that
let-
line real quick? If we're gonna dictate who we vote for by a person's skin color based on their success or non-success, why are we still electing white guys?
Well, that's what Bushido. Well,
Because we're not. We ain't elected nobody. We haven't.
right.
Since before fucking
Well, I'm just saying, up till
the
about
guys in
the
the wigs.
Reagan era, why are we still electing white guys? Yeah, if you think about it, it don't matter your skin color. You're either a good president or a bad president. It don't matter what religion you believe in. It don't matter your party affiliations. If you're a good president or bad president, that's what you're going to be judged by.
I feel like we
Actually,
need to go
somebody
down to the
judges-
border. We need to go down to the border and grab one of them illegal motherfuckers and put them in presidency and see how that works. I'm just
Boy, Taco
saying,
Tuesday'd
it's
be
something
lit.
different.
Taco
Well, here's-
Tuesday would be lit.
Here's the thing, though, and this is the reason why traditionally we've seen the same thing with politicians over and over again. It's because the one thing we don't do here, and a comedian said this, but it should be like NASCAR. And whenever a lobby gives you a bunch of money, you should have to put their logo on your suit.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And these guys, they go back and they buy and pay for and cherry pick these politicians. Biden was for sale since the minute he got in office. He was guilty of plagiarism. Whenever he had to write something, he would just openly steal someone else's speech. That happened to him twice.
Yeah.
And just a terrible politician. And he marketed himself as a Dixiecrat when he first got in. So he was an opponent of civil rights. He's exactly the opposite of what he claims to be today, And when he was running in the debates, and he said, "I'm going to end all these racist policies," those were all policies that he helped put in place by his own legislation,
Absolutely.
And he was like, "I'm going to undo everything I did for the last 40-something years." And everyone said, "Wow, that's great." Man, everyone, even the left saw through this. Nobody voted for the guy. And that's the part that really, well, my daughter did. But other than that.
But can I just say quickly?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
So the problem with having a certain delegate and somebody in specific, when we kind of point to one person and place our political values or our moral values in any way behind one individual, that can be extremely dangerous. And I'm not saying that you're doing that. I'm saying that that's what happens, because as soon as we do that, by those person's actions, we are judged then because we advocated for them. So that's why we've got to be so careful on how we kind of, when we look at that. So when it does come to a certain person being a president, I think that there should be a council. Like, I know that is a problem, and a lot of people see the problem with that. But having one person that is almighty and powerful just logically doesn't make sense. We should have the best minds.
Guardian, I want to stop you right there. Guardian,
one moment,
I want to stop.
Hold on, man. Let him finish.
One second, quickly. So what I'm saying is, if we had a dedicated, kind of council, and then please do give me your opinion afterwards. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your, your opinion about this. But what I'm saying in short is that having the best minds of each department when it comes to things, combining together, in a certain way, a lot of people will disagree with what I'm saying. But when we have one person, that one person is so fallible. So my Mrs. Guardian completely disagrees, by the way. So
no, it's because he stole.
It's because
It's because I've said this exact thing to Jared.
No, she made me believe this. And yeah, so now that you guys all know my first name,
I know. I was gonna say.
It's fine.
I missed it.
He took her to Jared's.
You can go back to the stream because it's live stream. You can go back 30 seconds. I don't care. My point that I'm making is that it's her mind and her thinking that got me to think this way as well, and that's why, because it's rational and logical. So she is right. I'm stealing her brilliance.
It's a very good idea, because if you get the expert in every field, and it's not about them being bought, as politicians are.
Yeah, that's what
well,
matters.
we do have a council. We do have a council that controls the United States. It's called the pharmaceutical industry, and it's not just one person; it's a group of people.
Not just them.
Let me say, the president is not the most powerful man in this country. The president is not the most powerful man in this country.
It's the pharmaceutical industry, exactly.
It's not even the pharmacy. They are a part of it, but the most powerful people are the 535 people that are in the U.S. Capitol at any given time. That's the most powerful people in this country, because they dictate the laws they can take a president out with a number of different things. They could take Biden out of office right now if they wanted to. He's
we have
not the
3
most
branches of
powerful
government.
man.
Right. Yeah.
And the 3
He's
branches
not.
of government is Hollywood, pedophiles, and the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so dark,
But
but you know
I'm
what?
not gonna
There's truth
disagree
to
with
that.
it.
Don't forget the military industrial complex too now.
Oh yeah, we forgot about them.
Yeah,
Thank you
we
for
could-
bringing them up.
Well, with that, we can combine the pedophiles and Hollywood together because they go so hand in hand nowadays.
They are pretty
That's very true. That's
compatible.
very true.
They are. America's
So
the
military,
biggest gang in the
Hollywood, and
world.
pharmaceuticals.
Control the shit. Well, we're the henchmen for the fucking deep state, is what we are.
Well, whenever there was a mass shooting before, the fact that they would hide if the people were on antidepressants or abusing or not taking or taking too many, that made me kind of cast an eye. But when we had a global pandemic where the pharmaceutical industry, the same people had forced customers all around the world, and they just keep pumping out new ones. And the second that they come out with a new one, they get another chunk of money. CEO of the year, what do you know, best year ever for Pfizer. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, these people now are just openly controlling us, and they're laughing at us, you know?
Yep.
Because they're the ones that really made out in this. Just like in Ukraine, I'm sure there's a glass and a drywall guy that's about to be a multimillionaire the second this stuff is over, you know?
Hey,
But
I
the
want
kids
to
gonna make a fortune over there.
Stock in the company that makes the windows over there, because
That's what I'm saying.
Bombs can turn cars over on their backs, and the damn windows don't get broke. How about that?
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, Tom. I was watching those videos too, and I was going like, that's a little precarious to say the least.
That's a little precarious.
Looks a little Hollywoodish, don't it?
Yeah.
You've been all over the world, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of things. What have you seen that, because you said the pharmaceutical and the medic things that they bring out and put on the system, what have you seen by traveling the world to see many things that can get you off of that you won't be able to escape that addiction, what they're trying to do? Have you seen holistic type of things when you went around different parts of the world?
Oh, well, you could just go to Mexico, man. It's that easy. Go to Mexico and go to a pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
The things you don't need a prescription for.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like the people giving you the prescription are gatekeepers of what you have access to, because they have to think of it to give it to you, right? So the pharmaceutical companies send in agents or salesmen that give a bribe to the doctor to prefer their drug over the other drug, you know?
Oh, okay. So like in South Africa, and I think they have a lot of holistic places that you can go to. You don't have to take medication. You can go to different shops. I know Brazil has it too in Rio. That's why I was asking, have you experienced that you don't even have to use the pharmaceutical medication that they supply us that keep us?
Well, that's what I was going to say, man. The lines are a lot more blurry between there. We have a very clear cut of what is considered practice and what is considered non-practice. But, you know, and here in America, if you look, we made fun of the Chinese 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
And now here we are delving into Chinese remedies from 1,000 years ago and figuring out that they work, you know, just like our experiments that we've done with medicinal mushrooms. And I'm not talking about the psychoactive stuff, but we're finding out that mushrooms have all these properties that, you know, the pharmaceutical industry has been searching to try to find this one particular thing, like turkey tail mushrooms they fight cancer, you know, and you can pick them off of a tree. I mean, they grow everywhere, and we're finding out, and it's being suppressed in America, but in the rest of the world, like the line isn't as crisp, you know. There's what works and there's what doesn't work. And a great example is in Afghanistan, for example. You have two influences when it comes to medicine. It'll be made in Thailand or it'll be made in India. And if you have good connections with Afghans, you can get any illness you want. And they can get you, if you know what medication to tell them to look for, they can get it for you. And it's going to be every bit as good or better than what you get in the United States, because they don't have the bias
Okay.
Their bias is off of how effective the medication is and not who made it. And that's the manufacturer is getting the bias here in America. So to be honest, we're getting a jaded, conflated version of medicine. And we're actually getting a worse deal than someone in the rest of the world because there's that sticker price.
Mhm.
I mean, and, dude, an ibuprofen is $80 in a hospital, if that tells you anything.
Hey, Bug Eye.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
He said,
Yeah.
That's your name,
Sorry,
right,
I had a
Bug Eye?
mouthful of coffee.
Oh, that's all right. That's your name, right, Bug Eye?
bug out.
Bug Out. Okay, sorry. I can't see your name. I don't have the best hearing. Anyway, when you was in Afghanistan, you ever try Beady Beady?
Beady. What is that?
The cigarettes. They're cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
That has
No.
a hash in
Well,
them.
those are more Hindu, but yeah, they are there. The ones wrapped in the leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I'm prior
Go ahead.
Marine. You know, I got out in '94, but I still live near the base. And talking to current Marines, they're like, when they got over there, it's like, if you smoke a Beady Beady, your military career is pretty much done.
Oh, wow.
Why is
But
that?
mainly because of the legality issues.
Oh,
You can get beaties in the States, man. I mean, you
Yeah, I
can
know,
buy
I
them
know,
here.
I know. But I mean,
Yeah,
Beady
I've
Beaties
smoked
were
beaties.
as available as Marlboro cigarettes are in America.
Hmm.
Well, I know as a contractor in Minecraft, I heard people talk about this one time. I would never do this, but when menthol cigarettes work really good for this. You get a little couple rabbit turds of hash and you roll it up and just roll all the tobacco out of the cigarette and drop a couple little BBs of it in there and pack the cigarette back down, and that shit'll help you go to sleep, man. Yeah, you'll sleep like a baby after that.
Or like I used to do in high school. I used to walk over to my friend's house. We'd stop at the vending machine, grab a can of Pepsi. I'm from Iowa. We didn't drink Coke products. We drank Pepsi products. Anyway, we would drink half the can, go into his house, and we'd go downstairs to his dad's little pool room and wet bar, and we'd fill the can back up with whatever, bourbon, rum, whatever, and drink that on the way to school and throw the can out in a trash can at the school.
wow.
I know in Helmand Province, man. It's like we were there with the Marines embedded, and one of the Marines found a can that had been converted into a hash pipe, and they were like, "We're gonna drug test everyone until we found out who did this." And I looked, and there was at least 100 of these Blackwater guys looking at each other like, "Oh shit," It was like, dude, everybody but you is doing this, man. And that went away real fast, Oh my goodness. But that's I don't know, man. It's the beaties not so much. There is it's weird because there's an Indian cultural influence, but at the same time, like they totally shun the Hindu aspect of Indian culture. Now, how you do that it's really weird, man. That's a strange place,
Yeah.
Iraq is way more like cut and dry on what you expect as far as culturally goes.
Well, look at Iraq back in the 70s. It was a beautiful place. Women
Same
could
with
walk around
Afghanistan,
in
man.
mini skirts.
Hey,
and stuff.
free rebel.
Yeah.
What's with these passive aggressive racial things that you keep saying in chat? And your very first one was the Bible was only for white dudes, and then now I see these other ones where I hope there's a shortage on fried chicken
I'm being trolled.
and
Cool.
watermelon.
All right.
You're doing a lot of that subtle fucking racial shit, and I'm just curious as to why.
Listen, that was a slip of the tongue, and that's been dealt with on other channels.
Slip of the tongue, man. You using your fingers, not your tongue. The fuck?
Well, I understand that, but it was still a Freudian slip, and I corrected myself on another live stream with whoever's trolling me was probably there because they're bringing it up.
You just said
mistake.
it 2 seconds ago, man.
What?
In the chat,
dude. I'm not on chat. I'm on StreamYard. I don't even have access to YouTube right now.
Is I tripping here, guys, or what?
Somebody's doxing them, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting trolled hard then.
Well, then you don't mind if that gets kicked out, right?
Nope, not a bit.
All right.
Whoever's doing
Sorry,
that, kick them
Tom.
out.
My bad there, Rebel.
Who was it?
I
What was the
don't know.
name of the person?
That's
It's
a good
your
way to get
name.
away with doing that, though.
It's
What's
free.
that?
That gave me an idea.
Who was it that was saying that in chat?
It's,
Free Rebel?
The name is
Oh,
Free
okay,
Rebel.
okay. Yeah, somebody's doxing me then. Because did it say Free Rebel or Free Rebel 626?
No, it
Now,
says-
hold on a second, though. Is it a Freudian slip? Or
Yeah,
is
it was.
a
I was
troll?
to tell you the truth, I was under the influence of marijuana when I said it. I was trying to say something else, and I was like, fuck it. Sorry, Tom. I'm going to type this out instead because it's what I can say easier with my fingers. It was a Freudian slip. I went on another live stream. I got called out. And I said, hey, I'll come up and straighten it out right now. What I said was wrong. And that was not the intent I initially had. I made a mistake. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Did I mean it? No, I did not.
I'm confused.
Well,
Don't worry
what
about
do
it.
I do? Remove that?
Yeah. Oh, whoever that
doesn't-
is, yeah, just remove them.
Well, I'm
Whatever they say.
trying to learn that removes him for good, right?
Well, if you block them, Tom, it'll
I don't have a
remove 'em, yeah.
block option.
Yeah, somebody's trolling me on your channel. That's all.
Okay.
I'm not that petty to dive down and get all butthurt about it. I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, I said it, but I was hiding and I was trying to say something quick, and that's how I typed it out. Did I mean to type it out that way? No, but I did type it out that way, and I apologized for it. I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
If I screw up and I get called out on the carpet, and I'm convinced I did or said something wrong, I'm like, yeah, I was wrong for saying that. I'm sorry. I am not that petty of a person to like, no, what I said was right. You're taking it out of context. No, I said it. I was wrong, and I apologize. Done deal. I'm just being trolled.
Okay. What happened on another stream is not relevant to here.
Nope.
That problem is gone. So.
Yep. But since it's been brought up, I explained it. I did say it. I didn't mean to type it out that way. And when I got called out on the carpet for it, I admitted it. Yep, I said it. I didn't mean to say it that way, and I was wrong, and I apologize. So, me being a racist prick white dude, no, I'm not. You already heard the story. I had a half black, half Filipino gay man living in my house. I'm not a racist prick. Okay? Whatever people say about me, I might say something that might sound like that, but deep down inside, that's not me. When I said that, I was high.
Hey,
Plain and
Independent
simple.
Mini, can you do me a favor? Could you unhide him real quick? That name that you just hit.
Hey there, Scat Pack. Yeah, I'm
And then
just
we can
wondering
hide him.
if I don't know what Indy did, what action.
Well, she hid, but I think we should have looked at the channel first.
Well, if she hides and I remove, okay, you want to look at the channel.
What's the name of the channel?
Well, it's Free Rebel. I'm just trying to see if it's your channel. I'm just trying to see if you're lying. I don't know you, dude.
YouTube channel with a few,
various
videos. But
I need some proof up in here.
Yeah, someone spoke about that earlier because it was Devontae Ghetto. He said asked you to ask him about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going on since you got here, so I was just trying to see the channel.
Yeah. Well, either way, troll or not, if somebody brings it up and say, "Hey,
Thank you,
call me out on the
Huckleberry."
carpet," I'll tell you the truth. I ain't gonna hide nothing from you guys. This is
Oh,
my
you
free
good,
time
man?
on
I
your
was
channel.
just saying,
Ghetto
my bad, Tom.
has no content.
Yeah.
You know me, Tom.
That's
I got
not
a
me.
big
I got
mouth.
like
Sorry,
5 or
brother.
6 videos on mine.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah. This ain't the first time, guys. Okay, I've dealt with this a few times already in the last 2 years, or actually the last few months since I said that. And I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, I said it. Did I mean it? No. Did I screw up? Yeah. Am I sorry?
All
Yeah.
right, Can you just
what
do me
can I say?
one favor, Free Rebel? Just one
Sure.
favor, because I'm going to harp on it. Could you just type something in chat and just say hello or something? That way we know you're not hidden.
In YouTube?
Yeah, in YouTube. Just so we know you're not hidden now.
Hold on a second.
That'll
I
kind of just.
removed him, so there's no need to unhide. In theory,
No,
if
yeah, you don't have to
he's not
unhide the
there.
other one because the other one's supposed to be a mock-up of him, and they're doxing him.
Yeah.
Just a second. I got to get to my computer.
Oh, wow.
I appreciate it, Free Rebel.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Sorry, Tom. I'm
Ghetto,
fucking
that was
Scooby-Doo
just a
up in here.
Plain Jane YouTube channel with no content at all.
Tom,
Right.
Tom,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop out of StreamYard and type something in chat real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay, that works.
Because I subbed to Free Rebel, so if there's no other content on the other one, I mean, I believe y'all. I just, I'm a Scooby Doo it.
I'm confused.
Sorry for doing
that.
How to?
Why ain't I surprised you're the detective of the group there,
Hell,
Ghetto?
hey, man.
No, someone said Devontae said something earlier to Ghetto about.
Yeah, Anthony was saying something to me too, and I just trying to see who is who, what is what. Just new people that are coming on. I'm actually trying to look out for Tom, and Tom knows that. I'm not trying to cause any ruckus or nothing like that. But
Yeah, because hey, man, Tom ain't all that bright,
There's Free Rebel. He's in the chat.
He's in the chat now.
All right. I appreciate it, Free Rebel. My bad,
Well, Tom is like lump charcoal. He was bright. He's just had a lot of time to smolder out a little bit.
Hey, no problem.
I like that. I like that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, man, totally different.
Talking about other channels, that's how I found about Tom's channel was him being mentioned elsewhere.
Really? Well, I guess. Thank you.
Hold on, getting an echo. Sorry about that. That was my fault.
And whoever subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you're still here.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll take $5 in cash out.
Ghetto, I don't pay my subscribers. Sorry if that's what you heard.
That's some bullshit. Not even EBT?
Not even EBT.
No KFC?
That's how I got to 500. This dude said no KFC. Back to the fried chicken. That's some bullshit.
Why did Hawk get kicked by StreamYard? Anybody know?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask myself. He must got kicked out. Kicked out because he's not live.
I didn't think StreamYard would kick anybody.
Oh no, not StreamYard. I'm sorry. I thought
they probably had an internet connection issue.
Oh, that
I thought you meant YouTube, Tom.
Chuck, do you have a Chuck C in your chat?
Usually.
Yeah.
Okay. He's. I just got a notification. He subscribed to my YouTube page or channel, whatever. So that's more clarification of who I am and who I'm not.
Yeah, I like your little train collection, man.
I'm thinking of trains, dude.
Yeah, I like that. I meant no disrespect, brother. I was just double making sure. I did subscribe to you earlier.
Yeah, no problem, man. Oh, that's you, Chuck C?
No. That's not me, no.
Oh,
I'm much more handsomer.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I'm more handsome than any of these fellas up here. Even some of the chicks, shoot.
That ain't hard nowadays.
I'll be right back. I've got these boots out here that I got to get on. And
is that fire still going, Tom?
Oh, it probably is, man.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I maintain a proper level of decorum while you're gone.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
We're gonna tar and feather this dude while you're gone, Tom.
Ghetto.
Are we allowed to harass the new guy?
Harass me all you want. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Mute AC before you leave. Me and the adults want to talk.
Yeah. I will be right back.
I'll tell you what, man.
Excuse me just a minute.
One thing, it's kind of funny talking about that though, but like, man, kind of out of the grassy knoll, man. Ghetto and I got put on the shelf. There's a new sheriff in town, I guess, man.
Who?
Oh, the guy with the wife comments. That blew my mind, man. And I'm just like, my God, YouTube tolerates dudes like that, man. Yeah, and it's weird, and that's why you ask a lot of questions, because like you find out that people that have been sitting in chats and stuff with you for months and months and months, you're like, this dude is that kind of a piece of shit, like. And the whole time you didn't know. You had an idea, but you didn't know, So it's people are like, I don't know, man. Hey, you can never blame a dude for trying to be thorough. That's all I'm saying.
They
Because
do, yeah. It's the long game. And to be honest, a good troll actually does play the long game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Apparently, I got one, and I've only been live stream, participating in panels on live streams for less than a year, and I already got a couple of them.
yeah, I had it, dude. I had 4 trolls, my very first live.
Hey, what color?
you know,
what color award does YouTube send you when you get to a certain amount of trolls?
I got
Is it
no
red?
idea, man.
Is it like yellow for putting up with their crap, something like that?
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah, you're
I've
right.
seen
Major
facetious.
Facepalm, whoever the hell you are.
Oh, I
But
know
you came.
Major Facepalm. He's from another channel. He's a decent dude.
No, I know he is. I
Yeah.
know he is. As soon as he came in, he was. Well, I mean, I don't know he is, but he addressed me when he first came in. He was saying Tyrone, and I remember a Tyrone from mine had a Tupac picture.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
carpet cleaner, I got no idea. I can care less. Yorga's not allowed over here. He would have some pretty fucking brass balls if he came in here. I wouldn't even have to do nothing. Tom will take care of that.
Who's
I don't
that?
think he Yorga. I don't think he wants to get his ass beat by a 100-year-old dude. Because Tom's got some choice words for him.
Real quick, sorry, my mouth is a little dry. To address all the drama amongst the different channels, that all goes back to stop being petty bitches, and all that'll go away. We can sit down and have discussions like proper men and women, and figure stuff out.
Yeah, but then people wouldn't have a life. I agree with you.
I think they
Don't
would.
get
They
me
would have a
wrong.
proper life.
No, like I said, I agree with you. But the people that do the drama, they wouldn't have a life. Is my point.
Yeah.
What's up,
And,
Dragon
I
Song?
don't. They say hate the haters. I don't hate the haters. They're just uninformed, or I'm uninformed, and I need to learn. There's two sides to that coin.
I wouldn't say hate the haters, but there's a level of respect and conduct that's expected when you're given the respect of being a grown up, and when you show up and then you time and time again prove that you aren't capable of that level of trust, then you need to be removed from the community. Pretty much,
I tell you what, though, that level of trolling just now, that was the highest for me. I'd never had somebody come on a live stream where I was on panel actually imitating me to my name like that. I feel honored.
You can drop it, carpet cleaner. We already proved that this dude wasn't the other one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all good. No need to continue it.
Like I said, I don't even have YouTube on right now. I can't even see the chat. I don't know what's been said. And I don't care. Say what you want about me. I don't care. If you have an issue, you want to discuss it, I'll tell you the truth. And
well, I mean, we were having good conversations before all that got brought up, and I think that's the whole point of a troll is once they come in, then the live gets disrupted, and then all we do is talk about the troll. And so, excuse me, Tom, but fuck them. So,
But look how the troll was addressed, because that was my troll, and I'm like, that's not me, that's not true. What he said, I did say, and I addressed it.
Every second of airtime we give it is more power that they get.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's what I mean.
What do y'all think about Joe Biden?
I'm wondering why the only black dude in the building is in the middle. Like, we're just gonna gangbang him over here. I gotta look out for Von Erich on this one. You just put him right in the middle of all of us.
I didn't do nothing.
For crying out loud, Ghetto, he's protected by all of us.
There you go. He couldn't have
Von Erich is a friend of all of ours, so he's protected by all the whiteness around him. So he's pretty protected in that.
He must be on Be Right Back anyway.
Shit. If you're driving that van angry, somebody better put a crash helmet on him.
Bug out. Like I said earlier, I said I've seen enough out of you down in the chat. I've heard enough out of you up on this panel. So just shut up, please. Or I will be like Mr. Yorga and just take myself out with something I say. He was a freaking idiot.
Oh
And
yeah, that's
Ghetto, I don't know why the hell he would say what he said to you, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I definitely got a policy. I don't like to discuss other channels unless it's to compliment how well it was done a particular night. But that incident went beyond. I don't even know what to say about that. I lost all respect.
I've definitely not resolved. That actually is not over for me. So
I don't blame you, man.
Amen.
I don't blame you.
Amen, brother.
It wouldn't
that's going to be a
me
thing
either.
for the rest of time, as far as I go. So it's
You
going
got
to
a
be a
channel
hinder
on
me
YouTube,
thing
Bug
on a
Out?
lot of this stuff.
Bug Out, you got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Sorta.
I mean, I do have a few.
He does
videos,
naked
but
Yorga on. He does Nikki Yorga. Oh shit! Talk about a Freudian slip. He
Is
does
that on
naked yoga.
OnlyFans.com?
He does naked yoga on his YouTube channel. My bad, Bushido. That was a fuck up. I'm sorry.
But I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
That the
dude.
Freudian slip.
Yep.
Something, dude. I punched myself in the face as soon as I did that. My apologies.
But Bug Out, for crying out loud, me and you didn't start off. I think me, Ghetto, and Bug Out didn't start on the right terms when I first started coming on panels around here.
Well, I don't throw Ghetto in there, man. Ghetto likes everybody. I even like Vaughn.
Well, you've been coming. How long have you been going on live streams, Angry?
God, he said I even like Vaughn.
I think I've been in the little group like with Tom and Rescue and Fat Man and all of them probably for 3 or 4 months now.
Oh, see, I thought you were around longer than that. I didn't know you were new. I would have put the gloves on, man.
Hey, AC, you ever go on panel with a remote viewer?
No, I've never been on a panel with remote viewer.
Yeah, because I've seen you on panel and chats and other channels before. I've actually, chatted with you on those chats a couple times.
Because I'm always floating around different channels.
Yeah, me too.
For crying out loud. For crying out loud, I can do something to Mr. Von Erich, and he will freak to. He would get scared to death if I change something. Von Erich, you want to tell him what we did on rescue streams?
I'd rather not.
This is getting a little Ebony Ivory, you know? A little extras. Tell us a story, Bushido. Change this whole conversation.
Well, I was gonna say is like on the subject of trolls and stuff. I mean, some of these things, like some of these, it's very possible it's not even a human. It could be AI. So I'm always looking toward the robotic and the AI systems and stuff like that to be really fooling around.
Well, that's the first time someone came on with my name like that. So,
well, Wingnut, following that card, there was an explosion of YouTubers 2 years ago when this whole like quarantine and all this other crap started,
Yep.
So the level of sophistication of an individual dedicated troll is now 2 years better than it was when it first became a huge thing cluttering up the works,
That's a good
I mean, the human element is getting better too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really ballsy though,
Dude, I'll tell you this, from even just experience from the radio, people will be a troll for 40, 50 years. So look forward to it. You got internet, unless it get all shut down, it's going to be around for a while. The trolls are just going to be around and get even more sophisticated and even more better. And
there's different kinds of trolling too, because actually some people would call me a troll, and I'm not saying I don't, but it's where it comes from, and it's the level of malice involved. And if you do it for just good fun, it's one thing. But some of these people Yeah, some of these people are like they're actually being destructive, and they're hurting a lot of people's stuff that they're putting out. And you know, if they can get one thing to stick, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they consider that fun, though. You know, that's fun to them.
What
What
the?
did I say earlier? Miserable people putting spotlight on other miserable people so they feel good for a few minutes. I said that like what, an hour ago?
Yeah.
That's exactly what just happened. Somebody that feels miserable tried to, you know, put the spotlight on me to make my misery shine so they could feel better for a few minutes. That's all the troll does. You know, the
Misery
angry
loves
ones.
company.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Angry, with the. You want to answer that? I appreciate
Jeez.
Damn, that laugh, man.
Yeah, I gotta go, Tom. I gotta go do the prayer-thon. So I appreciate you having me up on the pound. I appreciate talking with
Is
us.
Hawk back on?
I appreciate
he's
you
back
coming,
on.
man. Tell me how pretty my beloved Baltimore's getting before you go. I know it's got to be beautiful down there now.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
Oh
No
yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
You a Ravens fan?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I feel
went
you. I'm a
to,
Bears fan. You talk about suffering. I'm a Bears fan.
Oh.
And I'm a Cubs fan. I know about
I
suffering.
feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. Are you a
103 years.
Northwestern fan?
What's that?
College. College. Because they're from Chicago too. Northwestern.
What's that now?
Northwestern University.
I know nothing about it.
All right.
I was born in Moline and raised in Iowa. I've been to Chicago quite a few times. We used to go there at least once a year. Go to Museum of Science and Industry. Love that. Go see some of the other sites. But, you know, when it gets down to the nitty gritty of Chicago, I just know the whole state is screwed.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me up on the panel. I'm also going to take a leave. It's Sunday, 11 a.m. here on our side, so I've got a couple of things that I want to achieve and get done for the day and that type of
Time
thing.
for your cup of tea.
Catch up with you guys.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Cheers.
God bless you and Kay.
Cheers, beers, and boobs and bud.
You
Appreciate
always
you,
up
brother.
you always
Later,
up the
Guardian.
rent and the property value whenever you show up, man.
I knew.
Much respect, dude. I got all the time in the world for you too, bro. Keep well. Bye.
Would it be like, oh, look, we're gentrified now?
Gentrified. Now, how do you get that?
I'm just being facetious, man.
It was a swing on South African, right?
No. It was a swing on the gentrification, whatever in America. You know, all that BS that goes along with that.
My cat's eating my phone cord. But yeah, man. So here we are.
Say something before Bug Out goes. He's gonna go on a rant. We're not even gonna be able to get a word in.
No, actually, I wasn't, man. I was feeling like I should have said something. I was like reaching in the bag, but I didn't come up with anything.
Bug Out's been too damn quiet for my liking.
I'll shut up for a while.
Dude, you're getting kind of extra up here. Can you move me away from this dude? He's getting a little fresh with your guest there, Tom.
Oh, is that right?
Normally he's very talkative.
Appreciate you, Guardian Prepping, man. Look out for my email. I got one sending to you.
Ghetto, you'll have to explain that to me later. My mind is not working quite right, if you know what I mean. I've been up 20.
Yeah, okay, I will. The dude's in disguise, but okay. Yeah.
Right on.
I will.
Hey, folks, it is 5 o'clock, and I got up at 8. So I really appreciate all you coming up and Bug Out, especially, man. You've never been on my channel before.
I've been on your channel about 4 times, Tom.
On the panel? Not on the panel.
What is this especially stuff? Like,
I've always liked that dude.
Yeah,
man.
who cares about you,
Garage
Ghetto? Yeah, you're just fucking. Oh, excuse me. You're just.
I've spent 12 hours on the phone with this guy in the last 2 days, and he don't even acknowledge
Tom,
me as
I
a
especially
specially kind of
appreciate you
guy.
too, Ghetto.
Hey,
Everybody.
Tom.
Yes.
Next time, just say to all my esteemed guests on panel.
You know what's funny though? Ghetto must have a notebook, man, because whenever somebody does that, we text each other, and I hear about it. You know, he's like, "Man, at 3:17 a.m. on so and so's channel, they brought your name up, and they ain't never said my name, man. What's up with that shit?"
Damn.
I'll start dropping your name, Ghetto.
Got
On
a
my channel.
scorecard going on over there.
Appreciate it. Shoot.
Bug out 2, Ghetto 0.
Oh man, but yeah, then.
Hey, we made history tonight. I actually got trolled by my own name tonight, Tom. That's a honor for me.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Andy. We all know that ain't me.
Indy, you going live next or what? It's Saturday and we ain't got no lives. We're not gonna go like to club or nothing, so we're just at home on panels. So somebody needs to go live, whoever has a channel. Besides Ghetto.
I'm capable, if anybody.
Oh, sweet.
Who's that?
Oh man, we get
I'll
that
come
UK
mess with you.
persuasion in there.
Yeah, hold on.
Who said they go live with Wingnut?
I could, yeah.
Right.
Anarchy TV 2, number 2. Hold on. Let me find that thing. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, we're not censored over there like over here, Tom. Just saying.
Well.
Dude, who's the crazy British guy? Crinkle? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Guardian. Who are we talking about?
Oh, there's with the British dudes that Wingnut knows. There's a guy. I think his name is Crinkle. That dude is crazy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a danger to the public health and safety, in my opinion.
Okay.
How does he get that classification from you, Wingnut?
Well, first of all, the thing that blew me away, I thought it was a background, like a green screen. The guy has a privacy wall of dirty laundry that's behind him. It literally is a mound of clothes that like blocks the camera out. It's crazy.
Oh, that's wild.
Lord.
That's wild.
And I'm asking these guys, I'm like, are those clothes real? And they're like, yes, that's real. Like, that's not fake. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the guy when he's not here, but you know.
Yeah. That's always better.
Are you able to drop your link in there, Wingnut? Do you even have an internet to run your own live, man? Did you put in another AOL CD? You got a few more hours to go?
I actually had one of those.
I bet you did, Tom. Tom, all right, you got to answer this, brother. Did you have a Pogo account?
No.
Oh, you never
Don't know
did.
what that is.
That's through AOL, man. My grandmother used to just love her Pogo. So through AOL, it's a game site basically, and it was for AOL, and it was specifically for AOL, and it had like tons and tons of games. I don't even know if it works now because I mean we got apps and Candy Crush type games now, but it was a huge thing back in the day when when we got the CDs, when AOL was a big thing.
As I
Pogo
recall,
wasn't.
the only AOL thing I used was the Instant Messenger. I got the Internet CD, but they were shady on the Internet.
Did it work out there okay?
No,
like
I
the
never
dial-up and
installed it, and I had trouble getting my money back.
Oh, okay.
Well, the best thing about AOL is like if you were moving and you were getting ready to unplug everything and all that stuff, about 3 months before you moved, you could turn your AOL off because if you just kept calling and saying you wanted to cancel, they'd give you another month, and they do it for about 90 days.
For free.
Yeah. So you get that free 3 months, and then when you switch and go to another phone line, then then your account isn't connected anymore. You know, that was beautiful.
I'm about to play the same game with Sirius Radio. Subscription's about to run out, and I'm going to have to cancel because it's just too expensive. They always give me a big break.
Oh, it's funny. My wife is all about this. Like
Smart
it's
man.
so weird because like saving $10 on a $70 a year service or whatever Sirius is now, I forget, but
It's stupid expensive.
I don't really use it a lot, but she does, because she kind of likes more like the regular music and all that stuff. My interests are a little specific. Like I use like YouTube music, but anyway, she's so proud of herself when she'll save like $20 or whatever and I'm like, it's for the year. Who gives a shit? But like, I don't know. I guess it all adds up,
Oh, it sure does. And I'm not.
Sorry, that was an
ashamed of
accident.
it.
Who
The
my
only
bad.
reason I have Sirius Radio is for the Beatles channel. That's the only thing I listen to. So, and I only have that in my truck. So I'm not paying those people over $100 a year for that.
Hey, can I tell you a story about subscription service?
Sure.
I used to do customer service for DirecTV a few years back. And if you know about DirecTV, they got the NFL package or NFL Pass, however they call it, right?
Season ticket or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, the NFL season ticket. Well, I did my job. I went by the script, but, I didn't try and hound people like some people do to get the NFL season ticket, whatever you call it, right? And they had a contest. Whoever had the most subscriptions would get a prize, right? I just did my job and read the script and, did what I had to do. I ended up winning. They had this lady that was the prize lady for DirecTV, a representative. She'd walk around with this little cart passing out the stuff, and you had to sign for it to make sure they know that you got it. She came up to me one time and said, "Hey, when you're done with this call, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay." And she hands me a package. Here, sign this. I'm like, "What's this for?" It's like, "You were the top salesman for the NFL Sunday ticket." There it is, Sunday ticket. I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I didn't even try. I just did my job." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I did the script. I did my job. I didn't think I'd win." I ended up winning an iPad. Just for doing my job. I did my job. I read the script, and I didn't hound people, and I won an iPad.
Great. Can't beat that.
No, I gave it to my wife. I don't like Apple products.
Yeah.
They're a little too smart for me.
I've threatened to throw this one up against a building a couple of times, but
well, getting back to the me being with model trains, they've gone digital. You can control the train with your phone. You download an app and you can control the lights, the whistles, the motion, whatever it can do. You can do from your phone now. That's crazy.
Yeah. Is there anything a phone won't do these days? I don't know.
Hey, Virginia, can you find Wingnut's second channel? Because I think he made something over there, or he's trying to.
He's already got a notice.
It's in the private chat.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't change. I can't do nothing with the private chat. Shit. Can you copy that and send it to me, Tom? I'm over here asking you for
your
technical.
email.
I'll find it. Don't worry about it.
Here.
But with that app that we use, whenever somebody says, "Yeah, I'm having trouble, with my throttle," that's the app, we call it the throttle. I always ask them, "What kind of phone you got?" If they say Apple, I'm like, "Nope, I can't help you. I have no idea." That is alien technology to me.
Hang on, Ghetto. You won't know I'm gone. You won't even know I'm gone. Hold on.
Oh man, I love old people. Sorry, brother, I do. I love them.
It ain't easy. It ain't.
How old are you, Tom?
Say again.
How old are you?
I'll be 70 if I make it to November.
Wow.
He's not really that old. We sort of, maybe we distort the facts a little bit just for artistic license,
He's actually 16. He's just got a real good filter on his phone.
There you go. All right, brother. Came through with no subject.
appreciate it. I was gonna toss it into chat unless it's already in there.
Well, you can do that.
All right, cool.
Hey, Tom.
Is it in there?
Thanks for having me on panel. My first time on your channel like this. I do appreciate it. But I'm going to go ahead and dip out. I'll talk to y'all
thank you
later.
for coming, sir. And I hope we'll do it again, huh?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Nice meeting y'all.
Yeah, see you later.
Have a good one, Free. Okay, well, Outdoors with Ron, I already posted it. I appreciate it, Ron. Thank you. And thank you, Tom. But he's over there. A couple of us can go over there. I don't know if Bushido's gonna go over there. If AC's going over there, I'm not going over there.
Cola, thank you for the
Ghetto.
encouragement. I appreciate
Ghetto.
it. And I'll be here.
And Ghetto, you know where you can go.
Yeah.
You can
Right
go to
into my wife's bed.
You can go to Washington D.C. for all I care.
I got no reason to go to that country.
Didn't lose nothing there.
I'm staying in my own country.
That's where I got my wife, though.
Well, there you go. Something good came out of there.
Something good came out of that place.
So, well, listen. I hope everybody enjoyed the fire. That
was a good video.
Well, thank you. It totally messed it up, man. I wanted it to be a lot longer than it was, but I paused it and couldn't figure out how to start it back up. So there you go. But hey, I appreciate everybody coming. Appreciate everybody in chat. And I'll see y'all somewhere tomorrow, huh? So
Later,
God bless
Tom.
everybody and resist. Hey, we got to clean this mess up. You all got me off track, but we got to clean this mess up. And that's all I'll say. Thanks, everybody. And good night. End broadcast. Don't leave studio. Remember,
Got to say resist, Tom. That's like
I
your
did.
key word.
Resist.
Oh, okay.
All
my
right.
bad.
Fuck
I got
Joe
Alzheimer's.
Biden.
Freedom.
On the 25th,
Not Joe Biden.
on the 25th is Confederate Memorial Day. I'm going to be changing my flags on the front porch, and I will post a video so that all you guys can see my front porch. Ghetto, you've seen my front porch, haven't you? Made you laugh, didn't it? All right. So, that's a promise on Monday the 25th. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for being here. Good night.
Thanks, Tom.
Later.